for sports talk on the FM dial. Also online at theticketfm.com. On the internet. KNTK FM Firth, 93.7 The Ticket.
All right, Lincoln, if you're a diesel technician who's ready to earn up to $40 an hour and you're tired of working nights and weekends, listen up. Inland Truck Parts and Service is hiring experienced diesel technicians right here in Lincoln, and they're offering what every hardworking tech wants. Monday through Friday hours, no nights, no weekends, and paid training on advanced diesel technology. With 37 locations across 12 states, career advancement opportunities are endless. Start building towards your future and apply today at inlandtruck.com. That's inlandtruck.com. Or text APPLY to 785-369-1320. If you're seeking a career with a growing company, Gaina Trucking and Excavating is hiring and looking for additions to their team. Gaina Trucking has a strong team culture, competitive pay, 401ks, and benefits like health, dental, and vision. Drivers are guaranteed 40 hours per week, even in the winter months, and are home every night. Start your career today at Gaina Trucking and Excavating. Apply today at gainatrucking.com.
Fall is here, and so are cooler temps, darker evenings, and slick roads. Is your vehicle ready for the change in seasons? At A1 Automotive, we've got you covered. From tire checks, brake inspections, batteries, and heater systems, we make sure your car is road ready for the Nebraska winters ahead. Don't wait until the first frost. Schedule your fall car care checkup today and drive with confidence all season long. A1 Automotive, always honest answers.
With UBT, you've got total control over your money. Like Doug, who runs his game day tailgate like a well-oiled machine.
I got burgers, brats, chicken, dogs, plus all the fixins. And with the UBT Go app, I can track my food spending from anywhere.
Pro move.
They don't call me Grill Sergeant for nothing.
No matter your goals, UBT helps you feel good about reaching them. Union Bank and Trust. Member FDIC.
At Valentino's, we're on a mission for tradition. On every slice, for every bite. Golden baked crust, cooked to perfection every time. Savory sweet sauce that's made from our own secret recipe. Loaded with the perfect amount of fresh toppings and melty mozzarella cheese. It's the tradition that Nebraskans have come to love. From game day to every day. Valentino's. Taste the tradition.
After a long, hot summer, are you ready for fall? What about your home? Is your heating system ready for cooler temperatures ahead? Call Bryant for your fall heating check. No matter what brand of equipment you own, Bryant's trained technicians will thoroughly clean and inspect your furnace or heat pump to make sure you stay warm, safe, and comfortable. Call today to schedule your home heating check. 467-1111. Bryant Air Conditioning, Heating, Electrical, and Plumbing. 467-1111. Bryant, whatever it takes.
For remote starters, audio upgrades, and more, there's only one place to go. Auto Sounds of Lincoln at 48th and O.
When you were a kid, clubs were cool. Robotics club and space club and stuff like that. But what do adults get? Book clubs and quilting clubs? Nah, forget that. How about margarita clubs and old-fashioned clubs? Get to Upside Bar and Lounge for the best clubs in town. Try all 10 varieties of Upside margaritas or old fashions and take home a free souvenir glass. Grab the whole crew and pair it with taco night on Mondays or whiskey Wednesdays. Upside Bar and Lounge at 29th and Pine Lake.
When the clock strikes zero after every Nebraska football game, there's only one place to go for instant coverage. Tune in for the Husker After Party Postgame Show on 93.7 The Ticket for each game, win or lose. Call in with all your takes or text the show at 464-5685 and hear quotes from the players and coaches, too. It's the Husker After Party Postgame Show, sponsored by Anderson Ford and Vinnie Kreekak of State Farm Insurance. Coming at you live from the heart of Lincoln, America. This is Old School, sponsored by the Mercado by Certified Piedmontese. Nebraska Football Hall of Famer Jay Foreman and Austin Orman. Old School with Foreman and Orman on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Welcome to it. It is Old School, live on a Friday, 24 hours away from kickoff between Nebraska and Michigan State in Lincoln. Coming at you live from Cornhusker Bank on 83rd and O. I'm Austin Norman to my left, and actually your left on stream today as well. Husker Hall of Famer, 9-year NFL veteran Jay Foreman. Jay, a happy Friday to you. Could not ask for a better day to be out here at Cornhusker Bank.
Yeah, it's a beautiful day, and obviously it's a great event that I think this is my third year we've been doing it, right, Jake? Yeah, third year, and it's always I always look forward to it actually because it's always before a good game, and obviously enjoy seeing Dan. But it's a great day and great weather. It's going to be the same tomorrow, and obviously I think you're right. Nebraska might be kicking off at exactly 3:06 p.m. tomorrow.
Indeed.
That's a prop bet for people out there, but I think it's going to set up well for Nebraska to have a good day at the office.
Mentioned it. We are at Cornhusker Bank on 83rd and O, their customer appreciation tailgate party, their Husker tailgate on their beautiful patio on the north side of the building. The tailgate starts at 4:30, so we're here broadcasting live about half of our show before you, our closest friends, come pile in and have a good time at Cornhusker Bank. Make your plans to stop by for the end of hour 2 and all of hour 3 of Old School. Free gourmet hors d'oeuvres. They got barbecue. They got drinks for you. And as Jay alluded to, Larry the Cable Guy will join us live from Cornhusker Bank sometime in that opening window. He will obviously be his entertaining self as always. And CJ, this is where I'm not exactly quaking in my boots, but this is my first time out here.
Oh yeah,
you know Larry / Dan pretty well.
Yeah.
You've talked to him.
Mm-hmm.
I've been stuck on the board for a couple years, so I'm just lucky for my chance to be out here and finally take in the Cornhusker Bank Customer Appreciation Tailgate for the first time.
Yeah, he's great, man. And obviously I met him when I kind of started moving back to Nebraska, and he was doing him and Jason Peter were doing a charity event. I got to meet him, and the funny thing about him, and I always tell him the story, is that I have 2 daughters, and at that time, obviously he was doing some voiceovers, and he was off in the distance talking, and they were like, "Hey, that's him," and I was like, "No, that's Dad," and they just were like mesmerized by him. Their dad played in the NFL and college. They didn't care about like that. He was.
But he's not funny like Larry the Cable Guy. He's not Tom Mater.
Nope. And but it's great, man, and he's always gracious with his time. So I appreciate it, and obviously we appreciate him coming over here with the ticket and obviously for Cornhusker Bank.
He will be with us coming up again sometime between 4:30 and 6, so stay tuned right here at 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com. Ellie is reminding me that we have our Cash Blitz keyword to tell you about. Get your phone out and get ready to text 508-777-1000 or head to theticketfm.com and click on Cash Blitz to enter. Today's word that you're texting to 508-777-1000 is bill. B-I-L-L. Like Jay Foreman said, what do you collect? The bills. Sometimes it's the rent, but today you collect the bill. B-I-L-L. Your chance to win $1,000. We're doing this all the way through Halloween, all the way through the month of October. Your chance 4 times a day to win $1,000 in cash, thanks to our friends putting on the Cash Blitz keyword promotion. 402-464-5685 if you want to be a part of the show. That is our Sartor Heyman Jewelers text line. Jay, as we look forward to Nebraska at Michigan State, I'm going to guess Nebraska has the ball at this point around midfield, 2 minutes into the game after kickoff.
Yeah.
Probably have moved the ball due to their passing offense. Through 4 games, what has stood out to you in a positive way about how Nebraska's been able to move the ball through the air?
Well, I mean, they've done. I mean, I think so. Before I answer, I think a lot of times people here is just like obviously losing the game obviously was horrible. I mean, obviously, right? You want to play. You don't prepare for a season to lose, But I think sometimes these fans, man, it's like, and it might get worse because of the, all the hype around the team. It's like, one bad game or something like that. It was like we got to turn the lights off and change the, name on the building. But I think the one thing that's been impressive as far as in their passing game is, number one, the efficiency. A couple years ago, we weren't able to play pitch and catch. And even, years before that, we weren't able to play what I call pitch and catch. And that's being able to throw the ball, obviously horizontally and vertically with some consistency. And Nebraska's been able to do it. I think they've done it in different ways, which obviously is good for when you start to get deeper in the Big Ten schedule. I think the depth of pass catchers was probably, besides the efficiency, I would say that, right? I think, because that bodes well that you've recruited well, both in the transfer portal and high school. Then you've developed well both as well. Because even if you get a guy out of the portal, you still have to develop him. right?
Yeah.
You got to develop him. He's got to be able to play in your system and here in Lincoln. So I think they've done a good job, doing that. And I think they've been pretty consistent overall in the past game. And they've slowly but surely, and obviously I expect a little bit more, just only because Coach Dana has said that, he's going to try to get a little bit more creative. So I think that's even better that they, potentially could, add some more, tools to the toolbox as far as, in particular, he was talking about the red zone. So you look for something new, possibly, come tomorrow.
You mentioned the depth of pass catchers for Nebraska. When you look just against Michigan in the last game, Ja'Cory Barney, 6 catches, Luke Lindenmeyer, 7, Dane Key, 3, and Isaiah Hunter, 2. Emmett Johnson ended up with 5. Heinrich Harburg had 3, and then you have a catch each from Quinn Clark, Cortez Mills, Makai Nelson, Henry Lutovsky with that weird kind of broken play.
Yeah.
But even if you factor Lutovsky out, it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 different guys with a catch. On the one hand, there's strength in numbers. Absolutely. You can't just hone in on one guy. This is where Nebraska is going. They're going to force feed him. On the flip side, did Nebraska go get Dane Key and Isaiah Hunter to be the guys that sometimes they have to force feed the ball to because they're just the best guys on the field?
Yeah. Well, I think that's, some of that is, basically, you got guys you feel comfortable that Coach Shorts has developed to go in the game. You don't want to just hold them on the sidelines, but then also it's a matchups and stuff like that. But yeah, obviously you go in the transfer portal and get those two, and I don't know what their price tags were, but you get those two to be the guys that can, be the ultimate equalizer. And Dane Key has made a lot of 50-50 balls, especially coming from Kentucky, and Hunter's done a little bit of both coming from California. So I think as you get, deeper into the season, I think you'll see that a little bit more. The 2 veteran players that know how to come to work. They know how to practice and play like pros. And so, everybody's looking for something, I wouldn't say to complain about, to evaluate. I think that they'll do their thing. I think they feel very comfortable with what they have, depth wise, but then also, let's just say, top 3 guys. So, and I threw Barney in there. So I think they know when they can roll those guys out there and it's money time, I expect all 3 to be there and then obviously be effective as well.
It's hard for me to say that Dane Key and Isaiah Hunter have to have a quote unquote bounce back game, because between them, 5 catches combined for 70 yards out of the 300 yards that Nebraska ended up throwing for, obviously all out of the right arm and shoulder of Dylan Raiola. But man, you think about what Dane Key brings to the table and Isaiah Hunter's ability to take the top off. They did what was asked of them. They didn't go above and beyond. They were fine. It's games like that, though, that maybe those are one of the guys that you want to step up. Ja'Cory Barney obviously did his part, right? 6 catches, 120, the 2 touchdowns, one obviously being on the Hail Mary. I was left wanting maybe a little bit more out of those guys, but who's to say, Jay, that the 7 sacks that Nebraska allowed weren't plays that those guys were open on, getting open on? So that's where, when we talk about the passing game, Dylan Raiola is going to face another good pass rush. The offensive line is going to face another good pass rush from Michigan State. 7 sacks is unacceptable. 3 you can live with.
Yeah, I think you're going to see improvement. I think they've obviously going to take it upon themselves to play better, even if they were going to play the Michigan defensive line again. And so I think it was both a teaching, learning experience. And, it's humbling when sometimes you don't play your best game. And, and when you really want to. I don't think anybody showed up not to play their best. They just had obviously a bad day at the office. And you got to tip your hat to Michigan, is that they got a pretty dang good defensive line. So I envision that Nebraska's going to play better just in general. They're going to play other pass rush, tandems or groups or really good pass rushers. And so at that point in time, the guys, they got to step up and play their capabilities.
Another guy in that kind of conversation, Heinrich Harburg. What have you seen from him through these first 4 games? Do you think he's anything more than just a bit player for Nebraska? Do you think you've seen enough improvement in the first 4 games that you're like, yeah, Heinrich Harburg has a legitimate role to play and can be a weapon for Nebraska as they continue through the 8 games remaining in the regular season and whatever lies beyond?
Yeah, I think he's made improvement. I think he was taking snaps here just,
calendar year ago.
Yeah, less than that, because I think the switch came during bowl prep, if I'm correct. So, I think he's made a lot of improvement. I know he can really block out on the perimeter. I think that's a more than just a big jump. That's a huge jump for him to be able to do it and be effective. And so that really allows for things to open up offensively. So I think he's done well in his transition to tight end. I think the more he does it, he's going to get better. And, if he's able to get loose, in the middle of the field, we've seen him at quarterback. He can pick him up and put him down. So, You got to give him a lot of credit. And if you had, hiring Harburg, your biggest like worry. We don't have
Things
a lot
are going
of
pretty
things
well.
are going pretty dang well because you got a guy that was a quarterback, made the transition to tight end and learned it at the second highest level that you could, and doesn't look out of place at all at different roles that they're playing him in.
The other guy in the tight end room, obviously Luke Lindenmeyer, don't think we have any concerns about. Carter Nelson. What's your concern level with him that we haven't seen him maybe as much as fans wanted early on? We know Dana Holgorsen said still on the road back from injuries. What do you think the rest of Big Ten play has in store for the Ainsworth product?
Well, I think that maybe the bye week came good for him because, when you're trying to work your way back and he looks really good physically, that means that he's been dedicated in the weight room. It takes you a little bit of time to get used to that, that added muscle and all that. And so, you play you go through 4 weeks in training camp, then obviously, 4 games, you get that bye week, kind of get your legs underneath you, and then you get to finish out strong. And I'm sure it just really comes down to, game plan, but then also, him continue to prove himself in practice. And then once he does that, then, all that athletic ability, size and speed and strength. And I think he's, a willing blocker, especially from a mentality standpoint. So, I think it's just the little things for him. He's been making him and Heinrich Harburg are making the same transition. Carter Nelson essentially was a running back or a quarter, whatever you needed to
he was a do it all
in high school. So you didn't really play tight end in 8-man football, right? So Heinrich Harburg hadn't played tight end. They're both big, fast, strong kids. And so, sure, Carter Nelson has more, obviously, experience, but at the major college level, both of them didn't have any experience. So they're both making the transition, at a pretty good rate.
I am a little curious to see just how healthy Carter Nelson is moving forward, because if we use the USC game last year as kind of the point of delineation for when Dana Holgorsen took over, no touches for Carter Nelson against USC. The next game Nebraska played came against Wisconsin, and in that game, you look at what Carter Nelson did. Again, no touches for him on the offensive side of the ball. After that, for Nebraska, it was the Iowa game. And again, in that one, he had 2 catches for 11 yards and a run at the goal line for -1 yards. Dana Holgorsen's been asked quite a bit about Carter Nelson. I wonder if Dana Holgorsen is still trying to figure out how to use him. Obviously, injury is playing a factor in that, but the praise has been much more effusive of Carter Nelson from fans on the outside looking in, wondering why isn't Dana Holgorsen using this guy? It hasn't been like Dana Holgorsen's been chomping at the bit. Man, we need to get Carter ready. He's going to be such an X factor for us. We got to get him out there on the field. I think Dana Holgorsen sees a guy that can play a difference, but I wonder if in the OC's mind, Carter Nelson is another offseason away from being the tight end that Dana Holgorsen wants him to be.
Well, I mean, the more, experience he has, the better he's going to be. And, if he stays healthy, it's going to be a totally different story next year, as far as just because, number one, Lindenmeyer be gone. Number two, I think Heinrich Harburg might be gone. So then he is the lead dog. But I think it's more, I know he knows how to use him. I think he's bringing him along. And it's a relationship, when and I know this from when I had to make a transition into a different position or go from not playing or playing some or situational player in the pros to playing a lot. When they give you more, you gotta take advantage of it. So it's a little bit of,
when you got to prove you're worthy of it,
right? That's what I'm saying. You got if I got a couple extra series, I got to still be productive, and so I think he's just in that process of continue to work every day. Prove himself, but then also, you got to realize everybody else is around you is playing pretty dang good too. So you just got to make sure you got to work while you wait, but also you got to make sure you're evaluating yourself and getting better at the little things.
Mike on our Starter Human Jewelers text line says, I'll take that bet. Michigan was a max effort. Nebraska allows 5 sacks minimum tomorrow. D-Man says, is there any stigma from Carter Nelson playing 8-man football? I played and it's very different. I'll let you jump off on that in a sec, Jay, but if there was any stigma from Carter Nelson playing 8-man football, Nick Saban doesn't fly private to go see him in Ainsworth. They knew there was going to be a transition in store for him going from 8-man to 11-man. But he's played at camps. He's played in the 11-on-11 setting before. He had that issue too with some of the linemen Nebraska got from Iowa. I think that was Grant Bricks was playing at a lower level. But again, high major offers. So having that experience in 11-on-11 going into college would probably be helpful. But these coaches know what to do with these players that come from lower levels. And sure, there's a physical adjustment. Sure, there's a mental adjustment. But you wouldn't recruit a kid like that playing at a lower level if you had any doubts about their ability to handle the transition.
Yeah, I mean, sure, it's just, I mean, you're past that now. Just, 3 more guys on the field or whatever. Joel Makovica played 8-man football, and he was quite frankly, one of the best fullbacks, if not the best fullback, in Nebraska, history.
And maybe college football history.
Yeah. That's probably a far stretch, but sure. But also,
well, if you're good at Nebraska, you're in the combo.
You got some dudes, and he's one of his time for sure. And then, he went on to play in the NFL for a while. So I think what people don't understand is like every freshman that comes in are horrible. Okay, that's not like you're not good.
All right,
you're not good. You're just not. It take quarterback out of it. Well, you're garbage.
You're not just not good. You're garbage. You're trash.
But here's the deal.
You're horrible.
Okay, here's an example. I'm a junior, and here comes Dominic Raiola. He's playing some, but he's running scout team. Me going against him as an 18, 19-year-old freshman versus when he was 21, 22 is significantly different. That's what I mean.
Yeah.
So what I mean is every freshman has a transition. That's why the guys that are able to come in early have a little bit of a leg up because they go through the stuff and they know where to go. So I think with Carter Nelson or any freshman, there's not a tight end that comes out of high school that can block, no matter what anybody tells you. No matter what these internet guys tell you, there's not a tight end that comes out that resets the line of scrimmage unless he's
against a 6'6", 260-pound NFL caliber end.
It's not happening. It's not. It's not. And if you're depending on that, you're in some trouble. And so that's, whether it's Grant Briggs or Carter Nelson, there's a transition period. You got to learn the technique, how to block. You got to learn how to, block bigger guys. You got to learn how to block smaller guys. You got to learn how to block guys sometimes that your same size, which may be the hardest to do. Mm-hmm. And it's a transition for everybody. And then you got to go out there and pass catch, and then you got to make sure you're able to run routes against better defenders. And that's every skill position, and it's also on defense as well. So I think it's just part of, going through the process of being a major Division I college football player.
We're here at Cornhusker Bank live at 83rd and O for their customer appreciation tailgate, their Husker tailgate. We're on their patio on the north side of the building. We know you're getting close to getting off work. It's almost quitting time. Stay strong and make plans to come join us at 4:30 out here at Cornhusker Bank on 83rd and O. He's Jay Foreman. I'm Austin Norman. More Husker football discussion, maybe some Nebraska Penn State volleyball talk, and plenty more here over the next 2.5 hours. Big thank you to the Mercado by Certified Piedmontese for their sponsorship of the show. They're located just north of us here on 84th Street up at 84th and Havelock. If you're looking to grill out tonight on your way home, or more especially over the weekend, because you got free food for you available here at Cornhusker Bank. Stock up on all your weekend grilling necessities at the Mercado by Certified Piedmontese after you stop by Cornhusker Bank.
Hey, man, this is what you got to do, though. You're not doing – also, here's what you do. Come over here to Cornhusker Bank. You get step one. Come in, get some rub-a-dub-dub, let's grub. Go in there to your bank or open a bank or a checking account.
Step 2.
Get you some money. Hop in your car.
Step 3.
Drive down to 84th and Havelock and get you some. They got some pork chops that I already tweaked out today. So you get those. Okay. Then you marinate them, throw them on the grill, and you got victory pork chops.
6-step plan.
Yeah. See, there you go.
Perfect.
Yeah.
It's not a 1 to 7 scale, but it's an even number.
Then pick you up a tomahawk or 2 tomahawks, so you're at 8. So that's what you're going to for NFL Sunday. And then you keep the leftovers for Monday Night Football as well. And then they invite your neighbors, and you're all good.
You're gonna eat it all on Sunday night because the Bills are gonna eat on Sunday night.
We're gonna eat though, and then when we go against those Dolphins, we're gonna eat dolphins. We're gonna put some of that dolphin meat on the grill too.
I've never had dolphin. That's a little exotic for my taste, but maybe it's worth a try. It's definitely worth stopping by Cornhusker Bank at 83rd and O. We'll keep talking Husker sports and college football weekend when we continue Old School.
You're listening to Old School with Jay Foreman and Austin Orman. Download the mobile app and listen wherever you are on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Ryan, with all this red and all these people around, I'm still not seeing the tailgate.
Todd Spidell, former body shop owner, terrible driver.
We're getting close. Now, did you know with 3 locations in Lincoln and hundreds of years of combined technician experience, we can get Husker fans back on the road even quicker and safer after their tailgate mishaps? Oh, Todd, turn left right here.
Left or right?
Left, right here.
Right?
Well, you wait for the tow truck. I'm getting a hot dog.
Well, I guess while I'm waiting. All right! Most recommended! Eustace Body Shop! Woohoo!
Dude, you should be on American Idol.
You really think so?
No.
Accidents happen, even to Husker fans. If it happens to you, call Eustace Body Shop, where our customers send their friends.
The most recommended Eustace Body Shop. That's who we are.
All right, Lincoln, if you're a diesel technician who's ready to earn up to $40 an hour and you're tired of working nights and weekends, listen up. Inland Truck Parts and Service is hiring experienced diesel technicians right here in Lincoln, and they're offering what every hardworking tech wants. Monday through Friday hours, no nights, no weekends, and paid training on advanced diesel technology. With 37 locations across 12 states, career advancement opportunities are endless. Start building towards your future and apply today at inlandtruck.com. That's inlandtruck.com. Or text APPLY to 785-369-1320. If you're seeking a career with a growing company, Gaina Trucking and Excavating is hiring and looking for additions to their team. Gaina Trucking has a strong team culture, competitive pay, 401ks, and benefits like health, dental, and vision. Drivers are guaranteed 40 hours per week, even in the winter months, and are home every night. Start your career today at Gaina Trucking and Excavating. Apply today at gainatrucking.com.
Alexa, play 93.7 The Ticket.
Okay, playing 93.7 The Ticket.
Alexa, turn down the lights.
Dimming the lights.
Alexa, order a pizza. The big one. All the toppings.
Are you sure that's a good idea?
Alexa.
That's a lot of pizza for just one man.
Alexa, just do it. Stop judging me, just do it.
As you wish.
Thanks, Alexa. You're my best friend.
After a long, hot summer, are you ready for fall? What about your home? Is your heating system ready for cooler temperatures ahead? Call Bryant for your fall heating check. No matter what brand of equipment you own, Bryant's trained technicians will thoroughly clean and inspect your furnace or heat pump to make sure you stay warm, safe, and comfortable. Call today to schedule your home heating check. 467-1111. Bryant Air Conditioning, Heating, Electrical, and Plumbing. 467-1111. Bryant, whatever it takes.
With UBT, you've got total control over your money. Like Doug, who runs his game day tailgate like a well-oiled machine.
I got burgers, brats, chicken, dogs, plus all the fixins. And with the UBT Go app, I can track my food spending from anywhere.
Pro move.
They don't call me Grill Sergeant for nothing.
No matter your goals, UBT helps you feel good about reaching them. Union Bank and Trust. Member FDIC.
Hey, what's up, everyone? This is Mike Smith, founder of The Bay. Join me every Tuesday from 5 to 6 p.m. for your weekly Disrupt, where me and local misfits will interrupt your drive time with this week's most interesting stories in sports, entrepreneurship, and culture. So tune in to your weekly Disrupt every Tuesday afternoon on 93.7 The Ticket, where disruption is just a phone call away.
Have you heard about Advanced Medical Imaging Surgery Center? Located at 7555 Pioneers Boulevard, Advanced Medical Imaging Surgery Center offers compassionate, patient-focused care and provides outpatient surgery services, making it possible to have non-emergency surgery and return home the same day. Advanced Medical Imaging Surgery Center specializes in cardiology, vascular radiology, orthopedics, pain management, and much, much more. Give them a call today at 402-261-1085 or online at amimaging.com.
For remote starters, audio upgrades, and more, there's only one place to go. Auto Sounds of Lincoln at 48th and O.
93.7 The Ticket. Fox KFXL weather. Sponsored by John Henry's Plumbing, Heating, and Air Conditioning.
Your Lincoln forecast for today. We'll see lots of sunshine. It'll be breezy and hot. Afternoon high around 90. Tonight, mainly clear skies, a continued breeze, the low around 71. And tomorrow, we'll see mainly sunny skies. It'll be windy and warm with an afternoon high near 89. I'm meteorologist Kyle Clinton for 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
93.7 The Ticket is proud to provide listeners with daily opportunities to win contests and prizes on our airwaves, and would like to take this opportunity to remind you of a couple rules. All participants must be 21 or older and must wait 30 days after winning a prize to participate in another contest. Once you win, you have 30 days to pick up your prize at the KNTK Studios, 1040 O Street in Lincoln, or your prize will be forfeited. Thank you for participating in our contests, and thank you for listening to 93.7 The Ticket.
Back to old school with Foreman and Orman on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
We're here at Cornhusker Bank, 83rd and 0 for Boss Norman J. Foreman. I promise Jay will talk about defense in a little while. I don't want to, disregard it. It's important. I know that's where it all starts for you. But I do want to pick your brain on the running back position, maybe your natural position before you made a wise decision in the career switch that led you to your NFL career.
I think it was made for me.
Either way.
It was made for me. That was the classic. Looking at seeing some dudes, I was like, I know I'm pretty dangerous, but that's a little different.
Who had more of a say? You in switching to linebacker or Xavier Howard in retiring?
Oh, well, I mean, Xavier's different, man. I think that he said it. And, sometimes when you get used to being at home, financially secure, you kind of start to fall in love with that. And I think he lost the love and obviously got smoked. And that was he was like, all right, man, you know what? School drop off ain't so bad. My kid really needs me and stuff like that versus me. I think I know. I mean, I was pretty decent at running back, and I saw Lawrence Phillips, and I said, yeah, he's a true freshman. Well, he's going to be here at least 2 more years. And then then I'm like, yeah, that's who they have. And they had, I think, Calvin Jones too. I was like, yeah, and then what really was
Amon comes in.
Well, Marvin Sims, who was he was a running back before me in Minnesota that from Apple Valley. Yeah. He was a record. He had the records before I broke the records. He came to Nebraska, and I knew he was a bad boy. And he was on the way out, right? When I came in, I was like, yeah, man. I gotta maybe think about getting another position. I saw the receivers. I was like, they okay. But I'm like, I looked at the thing. It was like leading receiver, 28 catches. It's like, oh, no.
I ain't cut blocking like that. No.
And then I'm like, all right, I can play safety because I played at 2 games in high school. And Coach D told me I wasn't good enough.
Dang.
And Coach Steele was bored because we didn't recruit a linebacker, and that's how I got the linebacker. Now, back to running back.
Before we get to running back, with no disrespect to the glorious, wonderful Eden Prairie High School, Apple Valley is my favorite Minnesota high school.
Why?
Tyus Jones. Trey Jones.
Oh, come on.
Are you serious? My boy Tyus Stones. The pride of Apple Valley, Minnesota.
You know why they went to Apple Valley?
I do not.
Because they tried to run stuff at Eden Prairie that wasn't happening.
Well.
But they were cold-blooded, though.
Cold-blooded.
They do have a nice day. And you know what? They have one of the best PA announcers at least the same guy is there from when I was in high school, and he gets it hyped. So I'm okay with that.
Okay. Running backs, down to business. It's one thing to say that Nebraska needs more production from its backup running backs. That's been a talking point. But Jay, you're a football mind. I'm going to ask you the question, what does more production from the backup running backs actually look like? What does Nebraska need to do? What do the running backs need to do to be more productive when their number is called? Is it about play calling? Is it about just get them more reps and they'll figure it out on their own? How does Nebraska, on the offensive side of the ball, put its backup running backs in positions to succeed moving forward?
I think it's more when they get a chance. First of all, it starts in practice and it starts in their prep. Everybody has a talking point now, right?
Yeah.
So the only game that we get stopped running the ball, now we got to get it back up, run it back. It all of a sudden like, oh, Emmett's getting too many carries. Okay. And I'm sure that everybody has a threshold. That's not really the real deal. When you want somebody to step up and separate themselves, it comes into being consistent. You can't miss easy opportunities. So if you look at, if you're running a stretch play and you need to stick your foot in the ground and hit the hole and it was blocked decent enough for you to get a 5, 6, maybe 8-yard gain, you got to do that. That comes from preparation. That comes from film study. That comes from doing those things in practice. So then therefore they're second nature in the game. And sure, you could call some different plays, but you're the backup, the running back. You're not saying, okay, we're going to get you 15 touches. That's not happening. So
you got to maximize your 5 to 7.
I think you do, and you need to be consistent. You can't be when you go in the game it can't even change. That's what they want, and somebody has to, or a couple guys need to step up and be more consistent. That's what they're wanting. They know exactly what they're going to get out of Emmett. Everybody can get better, but the backup guys I'm assuming, haven't been consistent. They're consistent enough to where they have confidence to put them in the game, and some of it has been circumstantial. When you're playing good on good, you're going with your guy, and if you're not winning the line of scrimmage, it doesn't matter who's in there or how big he is. And so I think it's probably a little bit overblown, but then also, Matt Rule said it, and everybody else, I think Dana said it, right? I know Matt Rule said it, right? Because he implored the coaches to elevate a number 2 guy. And, somebody needs it. Hopefully has stepped up and earned that spot in the bye week.
What are some of the concepts that have worked well for Emmett Johnson? That if you're a backup running back, and to your point, you just got to be a running back. When you go in the game, what is it that Nebraska does well with Emmett Johnson in the game that those backup running backs can learn from and say, if I'm going to get on the field, I need to be able to do this concept well?
Well, I think Emmett does everything pretty good. So I think, that's where the consistency goes for it. But I think he's got pretty good vision. That's number 1.
Is that natural, or can you teach some of it?
You can, that's something you got natural ability, right? You got to have feel for it, but then also I think you can get better at it. So I think he's got a pretty good vision. I think he catches well out of the backfield. I think he makes guys miss. And so if I'm a backup running back, right, even at my size, right, obviously I'm significantly taller than Emmett. I wouldn't be as big as I was as a linebacker, but to say I'm a little bit bigger, I'm looking at his game and seeing how I can take it and put it in my game, but do it my way. Right. The worst thing you could do is be a big back trying to be a scat back. And the worst thing you could sometimes do is be a scat back and try to be a big back. You got to do a little bit of both. And so if I'm a backup running back, I'm looking at what he does well. The best thing they need to take from Emmett, right, besides the being able to shake and bake and all that, and Emmett's added the dead leg to his repertoire, is look how he comes to work.
Right.
Because if you come to work like Emmett and work like he does, day in and day out, does the recovery, does the studying and all that, then everything else will, be easy.
And it's one thing to look at Emmett Johnson the way he's preparing now. But if you're a backup running back and you're frustrated by your lack of touches, you think that you deserve more, you almost have to pick Emmett's brain, even Coach Barthel's brain, on, hey, what did Emmett do to stay ready the previous 2 years? Because think about all the conversations that we've had across the station, but especially here on Old School, of, man, when Emmett Johnson gets in the game, he looks pretty good. Why isn't he starting? Why is he still splitting carries, whether it's 2 years ago or even last year, Dante Dowdell, before Dana Holgerson comes in and really elevates him to the starter? Obviously, Dowdell ends up with a lot more touchdowns than Emmett did. So it's important to watch how Emmett's working this year. But I almost think for these guys, if they're frustrated, if they're wondering, man, I think I'm doing everything right, what else do I got to do to get on the field? Pick Emmett's brain. How did he stay the course last year and the year before when he was probably frustrated?
Yeah, that's a great point there, Austin. I think he probably just, he worked while he waited, and, sure, at times he was frustrated. But I think it was a blessing in disguise. When, Dana took over, he used his skill set. It kind of fit the offense a little bit better than Dowdell. And, look, man, everybody has to – the reason why you work hard every day is because you got to constantly improve. There's something that you can always get better at or tweak. And so when you think about Emmett, or like another, running back, whether it's Ives or, Mose or anybody like that, is that, whether maybe you need to be a little bit more efficient in how you run routes. Maybe you need to work on breaking tackles. Maybe you got to work on when to really try to make somebody miss, or when your knowledge of the game, or study the opponent's defensive tendencies and fronts, and that will make your job easier. So there's a lot of things that they can do. And if you really want it bad enough, I mean, Emmett's a perfect example. I mean, he probably wasn't ready to play I think his freshman year when he redshirted, right? And then, last year he felt like he had a good camp. He did some things, and then obviously they went with Dowdell. Obviously, he was a more experienced back and came through the
more
portal.
expensive back.
More expensive, but he was the more experienced.
Well, it's both.
Yeah,
it's
a little
both.
bit of both. And that's who, they wanted, and that's what they kind of put their hat on. But then eventually he'd get in here, get in there, make some plays, play a little special teams, right? Did everything he needed to do, was a good teammate, and then he got his shot, man. In those last 2 or 3 games, it paid dividends for him to the point that he's the guy this year.
It does seem like Nebraska's room, just in terms of body types and play styles, has a pretty good mix. Yeah. Now, you look at him as the do-it-all guy. Nelson maybe is the home run guy. Ives is the physical, and Mosey is the pass-catching back. that's where I think it's important too that these guys understand what their role could be moving forward, and that's where I think this bye week comes at a good time. You had 4 games. Matt Rule says we got to get the best players on the field more often.
Yeah.
So if you're the best player in your role, be really good at that role.
Yeah.
Now, maybe it makes you a little bit more predictable for opposing defenses, but if Nebraska's guys are good enough in their role, it shouldn't matter if the defense knows what's coming if everyone does their job.
And I'm gonna tell you what, I went against Kevin Falcon. He could still tote that pill. Hey, he caught a back shoulder fade on Jay Foreman. Still don't know how he got it. So what my point is like this: you got a specialty. That's how you get on the field. But then also you add to your toolbox of doing everything else that everybody can do. And so if you want to make your mark and say, you know what, you want to be the first guy that comes in on like nickel packages offensively. That means you got to be excellent at pass protection. You got to be excellent out of the backfield. And then if they decide to run, you got to hit the hole because there's going to be a ton of opportunities there. So you can start there. I mean, James White, he played 10, 12 years in the NFL. Same with Kevin Falk for the Patriots. And heck, Danny Woodhead, made his hay like that. And then when you get a chance to really go, you can go. Darren Sproles. There's plenty of guys that were specialty guys that ended up playing a long time in the NFL, but more importantly, making an impact here at college. And you better be able to do all 3 things. And if you have any inclination or want to go to the pros, you better be able to tote the pill. You better be able to pass protect, and you better be able to catch out of the backfield or run routes, which kind of goes hand in hand. And number 4, I guess you got to be able to make people miss.
And it's never too late to learn a new skill, right? The one that comes to mind for me is Jonathan Taylor at the Colts. I mean, as recently as last year, he was played off the field in the final game to determine who goes to the playoffs between the Colts and the Texans because Shane Steichen thought he wasn't good enough out of the backfield.
Right.
What did he do? Put in the work over the offseason. Now he's like the 4th or 5th leading receiver on the top 5 offense in the NFL through 4
Right,
games.
and there's plenty of stories like that. I mean, our own Amon Green, that when he got drafted, they to Seattle, they were like, we don't know if he can catch. Well, or they were trying to say he hasn't caught. Well, he didn't have to at Nebraska,
Right.
but I saw him diligently work at it, and he could catch naturally, right? But then he goes from Seattle to Green Bay, and he turns into an All-Pro. And then you see a guy more recent that Nebraska went against, and Braylon Allen. That's what he really worked on in the offseason, right? Because he knows, Breece Hall is a do-it-all back, and so, it's one thing to get to Nebraska. It's another thing to take advantage of your opportunity. And all the guys that aren't Emmett Johnson, when in my opinion, when the head coach says, I want to know who's my number 2, to me, I would take it as a shot over the bow. It's now or never. Because he's telling you so many things without saying anything. And that's just from my perspective. I can't speak for Coach Rule or any coach. I always look at this is what he would be telling me. Number 1, the opportunity's there. Number 2, we need you to do it. Number 3, there is no other time like now for you to really lock yourself in. You have to think beyond Michigan State. If you step up in the bona fide backup role and start to say, okay, say Emmett is 20 to 22 touches, right? Passing and running, right? Or running and passing. And then they say that they want to have 34 touches out of that backfield. So there's 12 touches now that's up for option. And if you can get 8 or 9 of those and say, we got to get Jay, 8 or 9 of those touches, that's a good position to be in. And that also affects how they potentially could go recruit next year or portal next year. So it's not just now, it's setting you up for the future. So once what the hardest thing for these kids is, don't get too comfortable eating those nice steaks and wearing those sweatsuits and getting your picture taken. I'm serious.
Yeah.
Because it's always a point where you got to continue to get better and fight for your spot.
You want to eat the nice steak. I assume they'll have some sort of beef option here, but the free hors d'oeuvres at Cornhusker Bank's Husker Tailgate Party starts at 4:30, about 45 minutes away. So get ready to get off work, make your way down here to Cornhusker Bank on 83rd, and we will go to break. When we get back, your chance to win $50 to Grata Bar and Lounge. I have a trivia question for you there. We'll also hit our Starter Hema Jewelers text line and maybe talk a little Nebraska Penn State volleyball. What's in the cards for the Huskers with a 7 o'clock serve in Happy Valley tonight? Jay Foreman, Austin Norman, this is Old School. Back in a moment.
Watch Old School live on Facebook, YouTube, or Twitch. Old School with Foreman and Norman. on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Go Hog Wild Pit Barbecue.
It's hard to choose a favorite at Hog Wild, but I'd have to say it's their award-winning ribs. Hog Wild buys their meat from those who share their high-quality standards, then hand rubs each slab with their famous seasoning blend and slow smokes them over hickory each and every day for flavor and tenderness you're going to keep coming back for. Order online at GoHogWild.com. Hog Wild Pit Barbecue, 3210 Cornhusker Highway in Lincoln.
But don't be late, we close at 8.
Have you heard about Advanced Medical Imaging Surgery Center? Located at 7555 Pioneers Boulevard, Advanced Medical Imaging Surgery Center offers compassionate, patient-focused care and provides outpatient surgery services, making it possible to have non-emergency surgery and return home the same day. Advanced Medical Imaging Surgery Center specializes in cardiology, vascular radiology, orthopedics, pain management, and much, much more. Give them a call today at 402-261-1085 or online at amimaging.com.
Are you looking for an exciting new way to put your skills to work? Explore new career options in the fintech industry at Currency, a Sandhills global company. We offer full-time positions in financial sales, compliance, operations, and other fields. We also offer a 4.5-day work week, an attractive benefits package, and opportunities for advancement. Put your motivation to work and grow with us at Currency. Visit gocurrency.com/careers to learn more.
All right, Lincoln, if you're a diesel technician who's ready to earn up to $40 an hour and you're tired of working nights and weekends, listen up. Inland Truck Parts and Service is hiring experienced diesel technicians right here in Lincoln, and they're offering what every hardworking tech wants. Monday through Friday hours, no nights, no weekends, and paid training on advanced diesel technology. With 37 locations across 12 states, career advancement opportunities are endless. Start building towards your future and apply today at inlandtruck.com. That's inlandtruck.com. Or text APPLY to 785-369-1320.
Rosie's Sports Bar and Grill, open for lunch and dinner at 1501 Center Park Road, just south of 14th and Highway 2.
Here at Aspen Builders, our company is building more homes today than I thought we would ever build.
Bob Benish is the founder and president of Aspen Builders, online at aspenbuildersinc.com.
You know, I am just shocked at how strong our market is here in Lincoln and at Aspen Builders. We're probably helping people right now more than ever get into a new home. We've been able to find pieces of ground we can develop affordably and keep our lot prices down a little bit. I think with our volume discounts and our office staff, 35 years of experience, we figure out a plan that's going to work great for you. We make it perfect. We make it fit your price range. All of this is part of the reason we're so busy.
Make your dream home a reality and call Aspen Builders at 423-6811. Online at aspenbuildersinc.com. Your home is waiting at Aspen Builders.
Fall is here, and so are cooler temps, darker evenings, and slick roads. Is your vehicle ready for the change in seasons? At A1 Automotive, we've got you covered. From tire checks, brake inspections, batteries, and heater systems, we make sure your car is road ready for the Nebraska winters ahead. Don't wait until the first frost. Schedule your fall car care checkup today and drive with confidence all season long. A1 Automotive, always honest answers.
Hi, Sean Callahan here for Koppel Chevrolet GMC. This month kicks off Koppel's 50th anniversary sale. We're celebrating 50 years by offering an additional $500 discount to the next 100 customers that buy a new vehicle. This is in addition to the huge savings already in place. You can take an extra $500 off our discounted price, or we can cut you a check on the spot. Celebrate with savings and see why customers have trusted Koppel since 1975. It's our way of saying thank you for all these years.
If you're seeking a career with a growing company, Gaina Trucking and Excavating is hiring and looking for additions to their team. Gaina Trucking has a strong team culture, competitive pay, 401ks, and benefits like health, dental, and vision. Drivers are guaranteed 40 hours per week, even in the winter months, and are home every night. Start your career today at Gaina Trucking and Excavating. Apply today at GainaTrucking.com.
Finally, a good reason to have a smart house. Just say, Alexa, play 93.7 The Ticket, and we'll magically start playing. How's it work? Nobody knows. Don't ask questions.
Join LES at 6 p.m. Thursday, October 9th at the LES Operations Center to learn about the utilities' proposed 2026 budget and electric rates, and share your input at the annual public meeting. Learn more at les.com.
With UBT, you've got total control over your money. Like Doug, who runs his game day tailgate like a well-oiled machine.
I got burgers, brats, chicken, dogs, plus all the fixins. And with the UBT Go app, I can track my food spending from anywhere.
Pro move.
They don't call me Grill Sergeant for nothing.
No matter your goals, UBT helps you feel good about reaching them. Union Bank and Trust. Member FDIC.
Back to old school with Foreman and Orman on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
We're back wrapping up hour one of Old School live from Cornhusker Bank on 83rd and O. Don't forget, doors open to their tailgate party at 4:30. Stop by, say hi, check out the last hour and a half of Old School. Right now, we got your chance to win $50 to Grotto Bar and Lounge. So at 402-464-5685, texter number 3 with the correct answer to the following question will win the $50 to Grotto Bar and Lounge. Right, here's the question. Taylor Swift has now released 9 studio albums during a full college football season. Only one FBS team has lost a game after every prior Taylor Swift album release. Who is the only winless FBS college football team? The only team to not win after one of Taylor Swift's album releases its following game. 402-464-5685. Let us know. It is a Big Ten team. I will give you that much of a hint. Big one in college volleyball tonight, Jay. A top 20 matchup between Nebraska, ranked number 1 in the major polls, and Penn State. Down there starting setter Izzy Stark, who is really good. She steps away from volleyball due to some mental health concerns, taking care of that instead of playing out the rest of the Big Ten volleyball season. Obviously, two of the biggest brands in college volleyball, a big-time Big Ten matchup. Nebraska owes Penn State a little something. Penn State beats Nebraska at the end of last regular season to withhold an outright conference title from the Huskers. They end up splitting it, I believe, at 19-1. And then in the Final Four, Nebraska goes up 2-0. Penn State pulls off the reverse sweep and then goes on to win the national championship match in Louisville. When you think about a game like that, where you're Nebraska, you owe a team pretty big for what they did to you the year before. What are the ways that you harness that emotion to go out and play your best without letting that emotion overtake you to where you try to go play hero ball or you do something out of the normal for you as a volleyball player or athlete in any sport?
Yeah, I mean, it's good on good, and obviously they know each other very well. Obviously, just linked up like recently last year in the semifinals. So sure, the emotion is going to be there. You're going into a hostile environment no matter what. And so, you got to play your game. And obviously you got to, really focus on yourself more importantly. And then obviously address some of the things that led you to, getting that reverse sweeper, I like to call it. So I think Nebraska needs to go in there with the mindset of we're going to finish, right? I think talent-wise, Nebraska is just as good or potentially, I think, better than them. They just got to play, like a whole team and not leave any doubt. I think this is a great opportunity for Nebraska to show maturity from a mentality standpoint and then just move on. And obviously, when Nebraska wins, look at it as, okay, that mission was complete. Now we're going to move on and maybe springboard to really start to really dominate everybody else on the schedule.
Nebraska, Penn State, 7 o'clock first serve Central Time tonight. We will have volleyball postgame. No Mandy Monson, but Tanya Taki will be in to break it all down with Ellie coming up 8:30, 8:45, 9, maybe 9:15, depending on when the match gets over. But the $50 to Grotto Bar and Lounge will go to texter 5338 on the Starter Heyman Jewelers text line. The answer is Purdue. Boilermakers 0-8 in the game immediately following.
Come on, Barry.
The Taylor Swift album release.
My man Barry better. He's going to try to break the curse. Who's Purdue got this week?
Ooh, Purdue football schedule. Let's see. Purdue plays Illinois at home. Looking like 0-9.
Oh, man. Purdue. I'm sorry.
Now, just the flip side of that question. I've seen this 2 different ways. There's either 1 or 2 teams, as our live broadcast sign goes toppling over thanks to South Wind. There's either 1 or 2 teams in FBS college football who are undefeated after Taylor Swift album releases. Who do you think those would be?
Alabama and Ohio State.
50% correct. It is Ohio State. The other team that I saw in a different tweet was Oregon and Ohio State.
Oh, yeah, I can see that. Yeah.
So there you have it, 53-38. You win the $50 to Grotto Bar and Lounge. Everyone's favorite question is, what's for dinner? The easy answer, of course, is Grotto Bar and Lounge, located in the Clock Tower Shopping Center at 70th and A. Grotto Bar and Lounge features a menu full of delicious options, ranging from unique menu items like the peanut butter burger or the wizard pastrami sandwich to your more traditional items like the mushroom burger or French dip. They also have daily specials and incredible drink options. Visit Grotto Bar and Lounge today at 70th and A. Jay Foreman, Austin Norman, Jake Sorensen hanging out here. Nick Sainer to be along. A lot of the ticket crew stopping by the Cornhusker Bank Customer Appreciation Tailgate Party ahead of Nebraska and Michigan State tomorrow afternoon at 3. More college football talk, more NFL talk, plenty of Husker talk, and, of course, an appearance on the air by Larry the Cable Guy. All comes your way as we continue Old School on 93.7 The Ticket.
You're listening to Old School with Jay Foreman and Austin Orman. Download the mobile app and listen wherever you are on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com. 93.7 The Ticket, Fox, KFXL weather. Sponsored by John Henry's Plumbing, Heating, and Air Conditioning.
Your Lincoln forecast for today, we'll see lots of sunshine. It'll be breezy and hot, and high around 90. Tonight, mainly clear skies, a continued breeze, the low around 71. And tomorrow, we'll see mainly sunny skies. It'll be windy and warm with an afternoon high near 89. I'm meteorologist Kyle Hunter for 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Advanced Medical Imaging is hosting their 3rd annual Breast Cancer Awareness Walk on October 11th at 7601 Pioneers Boulevard. Hear inspiring stories from survivors, enjoy local food truck vendors, a live DJ, and other family-friendly activities as we unite to bring awareness about breast cancer. Check-in begins at 8:30 a.m. with the walk starting at 9. Register your team today for Advanced Medical Imaging's 3rd annual Breast Cancer Awareness Walk online at amimaging.com. Let's walk for those we've lost, for those still fighting, and for a future without breast cancer.
Hi, Sean Callahan here for Koppel Chevrolet GMC. This month kicks off Koppel's 50th anniversary sale. We're celebrating 50 years by offering an additional $500 discount to the next 100 customers that buy a new vehicle. This is in addition to the huge savings already in place. You can take an extra $500 off our discounted price, or we can cut you a check on the spot. Celebrate with savings and see why customers have trusted Koppel since 1975. It's our way of saying thank you for all these years.
Here at Aspen Builders, our company is building more homes today than I thought we would ever build.
Bob Benish is the founder and president of Aspen Builders, online at aspenbuildersinc.com.
You know, I am just shocked at how strong our market is here in Lincoln and at Aspen Builders. We're probably helping people right now more than ever get into a new home. We've been able to find pieces of ground we can develop affordably and keep our lot prices down a little bit. I think with our volume discounts and our office staff, 35 years of experience, we figure out a plan that's going to work great for you. We make it perfect. We make it fit your price range. All of this is part of the reason we're so busy.
Make your dream home a reality and call Aspen Builders at 423-6811. Online at aspenbuildersinc.com. Your home is waiting at Aspen Builders.
Rosie's Sports Bar and Grill, open for lunch and dinner at 1501 Center Park Road, just south of 14th and Highway 2.
Hey, Husker fans, Max 10 is turning up the excitement this season. They're giving away a pair of Husker volleyball tickets, and every time you tan, you're entered to win. Experience the 2025 season tour featuring high-pressure tanning, rejuvenating red light therapy, and flawless spray tanning, all for just $20.25. Look good, feel amazing, and cheer on the Lady Huskers in style. Max Tan, take it to the max.
Fall is here, and so are cooler temps, darker evenings, and slick roads. Is your vehicle ready for the change in seasons? At A1 Automotive, we've got you covered. From tire checks, brake inspections, batteries, and heater systems, we make sure your car is road ready for the Nebraska winters ahead. Don't wait until the first frost. Schedule your fall car care checkup today and drive with confidence all season long. A1 Automotive, always honest answers.
Chorizo Construction is now hiring for skilled craftsmen, steel erectors, concrete workers, and general laborers. Suizo Construction offers great benefits like premium wages, health and dental insurance, paid holidays and vacation, 401k with company match, life insurance, and disability insurance. They pride themselves on a legacy of 40 years built on integrity and trust. Joining their team means becoming part of a family that values hard work, dedication, and mutual respect. Apply today at Schwizo.com. That's SCHWISOW.com.
Rico here with HIS Auto Care at 70th and Van Dorn, letting you know HIS is a great place to bring your vehicle for service. With superior service bumper to bumper, we'll treat your vehicle like it's your mother's. Doesn't get any better than that. So call 402-488-8934 and HIS Auto will make you glad you did. 5% off, mention this ad, and for sure your mother will be proud you called. 402-488-8934, HIS Auto Care, 70th and Van Dorn. God bless you.
At Fairway Meat Market, your family. And as part of the family, they want to save you money on your meat and groceries. Now through October 5th, enjoy 8-ounce USDA choice bacon wrapped sirloins for $5.88 each. All natural boneless chicken breast, $2.99 per pound. Fresh pork sausage, $2.49 per pound. And fresh salmon fillets for $9.99 per pound. That's all at Fairway Meat Market in the Rockledge Square Shopping Center just south of 84th and Van Dorn.
Join LES at 6 p.m. Thursday, October 9th at the LES Operations Center to learn about the utilities' proposed 2026 budget and electric rates and share your input at the annual public meeting. Learn more at les.com.
This is Lincoln's home for sports talk on the FM dial. Also online at theticketfm.com. On the internet. KNTK FM Firth, 93.7 The Ticket. Coming at you live from the heart of Lincoln, America. This is Old School, sponsored by the Mercado by Certified Piedmontese. Nebraska Football Hall of Famer Jay Foreman and Austin Orman. Old School with Foreman and Orman on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Rolling right along here at Cornhusker Bank on 83rd and O, celebrating their Husker tailgate party. Starts at 4:30. It's quitting time. Come on, get off work already. Beat the traffic down here to 83rd and O. Join myself, Austin Norman, him, Jay Foreman, and many more of the Ticket crew with you here from, again, 4:30 to 6:30 for the Cornhusker Bank tailgate, but we are with you until 6 o'clock on the air for Old School. 402-464-5685. Cruz, congratulations on winning the $50 to Grotto Bar and Lounge. Jay, let's turn our attention to some kind of national college football, beginning in the ACC. Fascinating weekend at play here when you look at the ACC, headlined by an early kickoff, an 11 o'clock game
exactly
between 1-3 Clemson and 2-2 North Carolina.
Yeah.
Maybe we shouldn't be surprised by where these teams are. I'm a little surprised that we have a combined record of 3-5 heading into this game.
I'm completely surprised where Clemson's at. I mean, when you have two bookend offensive tackles, two maybe top 20 defensive linemen, four draftable defensive linemen. I'm talking about really drafted in the day one or day two. And that means obviously first through third rounds. Tons of athletes, obviously on both sides of the ball. And then obviously you have a schedule, at least preseason schedule, that's set up for you to potentially. You got to think, Austin. I had predicted they could potentially, go undefeated, and now that's not happening. Obviously, the offense is stymied, and you had a potential number one pick in Kate Klubnik, who came back, had a first round grade, came back, and so it's been a major disappointment down there in Clemson. North Carolina, I'm not really surprised at, considering the quarterback decision and the backup quarterbacks. And obviously when we watch them against TCU, obviously, it's a work in progress. And that's fine. You understand that, right? It's a work in progress for their staff, evaluating college players, developing college players, transfer portal, salary cap, and all that. That's they get it like a 1 year, kind of look-see.
On that point here on the North Carolina end, the Athletic talked to some people about North Carolina and the roster for an article, and a Group of 5 head coach had this to say. What I think they miscalculated is with the way they were taking players in the portal and paying dudes. It made me wonder, did they actually understand the landscape they were in? Did they understand that they're in the ACC, not like Conference USA or the Sun Belt? Like, we got beat by North Carolina on a bunch of kids. I was like, why the F is North Carolina beating us on kids? When I keep running up against the same P4 schools over and over again in recruiting, I'm like, all right, they're going to suck.
And that coach is from where?
Group of 5 school.
Oh, yeah. Well, I think they really hung their hat on development.
Yeah.
And they were trying to spend low but in high numbers, and it hasn't worked out. So yeah, they were shopping at the lower ends, and they thought that they could use that Patriot magic. But also, I think one thing that people just kind of gloss over, Bill Belichick is a great coach and stuff like that. And it was led by a lot of Parcells players originally on defense, but you had the greatest quarterback of all time, and then you were able to really make hay with the Julian Edelmans and all that. But that's not going to really work at the college football level, and especially when you're –
and not in year one at the very least.
Not at any year. If you think you're going to go and constantly go against a group of 5s and get a bunch of group of 5 guys, you're not going to win in the ACC like that. You got to recruit majority ACC players that are either leaving ACC schools or SEC or Big Ten or whatever, even Big 12 schools, and bring
get the guys that wash out of a power school instead of the guys trying to come
and
up.
then you're not going to build a roster with a bunch of guys from Liberty. You're just not. And so you can get a couple players that get overlooked and they developed and they're, have a year or two of eligibility left. That's what you want, to plug and play guys from the group of 5. So I think it's a learning process. Look, we had to learn here. We had to learn and you change. And you remember when Scott Frost, his first recruiting class, he had a bunch of those like little water bug receivers. And then the next year, you had to get bigger guys and he learned the hard lesson. You can't play Wan'Dale Robinson at running back. And obviously he's a receiver and obviously he's doing pretty well at the next level. So I think it's a learning experience for Bill Belichick. That's why I say Clemson is more disappointing. They have their quarterback, so therefore, just like us with Dylan, you are light years ahead of anybody majority of college football.
Mm-hmm.
Then you had a really good offensive line and guys that are starting at the offensive line. Now you're a little shaky at receiver, but you felt like that was going to come along because you were potentially going to get Williams back, and then you had the one, I think it's Brown,
number 6.
I think it's number 6. I don't know if his last name. But he had a hamstring injury, and we saw that against Clemson. He was compromised, and that kind of shut down the whole offense for the rest of the year. And now the defense is playing decent, but they're not dominating, and it's hard to do that, even though you have a bunch of draftable guys up the front. So, and you got Dabo Swinney, 2-time national championship coach. This is what he's been waiting for: revenue sharing, not having to really, dole out a whole bunch of money. He kind of is like, sticking his nose up at everybody. How I waited. Now we're playing on the same playing field. And it's been a big letdown. Now they are essentially every week is must win for them.
Mm-hmm. Well, same way it was last year. They end up 9-3 in the regular season. That's their ceiling right now. Had to beat SMU with a late comeback just to get to the playoffs.
Right, and so that's a lot of pressure because now if they slip up one more time, you're going to have a lot of guys start making some business decisions, rightfully so, or start to play like that as well. And then the coaching philosophy starts to change because then you get into more development and start to move on to 2026 when normally or ideally they're thinking about, where they're going to play in the college football playoffs, so forth and so on.
I'm a little bit more surprised by Clemson's downfall or downtick at the very least, especially the wide receiver position. When you think about Clemson struggling there and Georgia has struggled there as well, Georgia makes a little bit more sense to me just because
based on their style,
their style, but also you can't point back over the last 6-7 years and say, oh yeah, Georgia had this run of receivers.
Yeah.
But think about what Clemson had. I mean, really from Taj Boyd on, when Dabo first took over, there's been a dude or two at the wide receiver position at Clemson. That have gone through. And then over the last 3 years, that's really dried up. I really liked on the surface what Dabo Swinney did to go get Garrett Riley, poaching him from TCU off their run to the national title. I know I mentioned this before, but I see more similarities between Cade Klubnik and Max Duggan. Not the same guy, but more similarities there than I do between, Jalen Daniels at Kansas and Drew Aller, where Andy Kotelnicki went. I thought that Garrett Riley would have been a bigger draw coming off the national championship. I thought Cade Klubnik would have developed a little bit more, but when you don't know who you're throwing to, they're unavailable. There's not development for whatever
you're not running
reason.
at the clip that you'd like.
Again, no ETN at that level, anyone like that, not even a Phil Maffa, who's been pretty good for them for the last couple of years.
And then they had, was the running back he actually made the Philly roster, I think, or the Carolina, he's number 1.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, he was pretty good. And they're missing him. So I think, Clemson has been a huge letdown. And now also you got to tip your hat that LSU has really done a really good job. Obviously lost last week, but been able to really hit the transfer portal and dress their defense. I think sometimes when you looked at the schedule, you didn't believe in Brian Kelly to actually go out and improve that defense,
right?
And be able to go to Clemson and win the battle of Death Valley per se, and then obviously Georgia Tech. What they did, they're doubling down, validating what they started last year over there in Dublin, and they're a problem.
Mm-hmm.
And so Clemson's back against the wall, but they have the tools or the pieces to be able to fight their way out of it, and they've done it before, so they get some confidence from that. And then also when Cade Klubnik gets going and playing more consistently, Clemson will go on a run.
Dabo Swinney's not at any risk of getting Mike Gundy. Not right now.
No.
What's the shelf life? You think it's as soon as next year? More realistically, 3 to 5? Is that too long for Clemson to wait in this day and age?
Why would you get rid of a great coach? Because
if he's proven he's not great anymore,
he just made the college football playoffs last year.
But did that feel sustainable? Because the way they all think about it is Nebraska baseball. Think about this with me, Jay. It's great. Yes, they made the college football playoff. He got there. Great coaching job. Give him credit. Their backs were against the wall that year as well. It didn't look the same. And I know it's a changing day and age, and we all have to adjust our standard and what we view as a great team or an elite team in this day and age of college football. But I said the same thing for Nebraska baseball. Yes, they won the Big Ten Conference Tournament 2 years in a row. 2 years ago, they were much better in the regular season, lost their first game in Omaha, and then came roaring back. Last year's team, barely 500 in the regular season. And that's a far cry from Clemson's 9-3 in the regular season last year. But you're not going to be able to get to the ACC championship at 8-4 this year or 9-3. And we'll get to that in a second. To me, it just feels like hoping against hope that you'll make the ACC championship every year and win it. Because right now, the ACC is a one bid league. It was 2 last year only because you took SMU over Alabama, which I still think ended up being the right call ultimately. But I want to give Dabo Swinney a lot of credit for what he's done. Building up, little old Clemson, taking over in the interim basis, losing to Nebraska in the bowl game, and then going on a great run. But this is where, as painful as it is for Clemson, you have to be honest about what Dabo Swinney has told you he is and what he's willing and not willing to do.
Right.
Because you don't want to cut ties too soon with a program legend like Dabo Swinney. You can't. You have to prove that you treat your guys right, you give them a chance. But if you can prove to everyone on the outside and to Dabo Swinney, you're investing enough to win, hypothetically, you're giving him everything he asks for and maybe more, and you've given him leeway without looking over his shoulder all the time. In this day and age of college football, with the resources that Clemson has in the position that they should be in, 3 years of a continual backslide. And again, they made the college football playoff last year. I'm not saying that counts as 1 year in the downslide. But if you go 8-4 this year, 8-4 next year, and 7-5, that's fine. But if you're Clemson, you want to be more than fine. You have to find a way to walk that tightrope between honoring a program legend, giving him a chance, and also saying we can't afford to sit back and wait any longer.
Right. Yeah. I mean, I guess that's a somewhat a valid point, but that's how you ended up in the depths of hell. I mean, that's how you ruin your program. Dabo Swinney coaching and Dabo Swinney willing to adjust are two different things. Now,
but they go hand in hand.
They do cross over. Now, you do, because with Dabo, you're going to have to. It's like Lane Kiffin. I'm going to tell you this is honestly got truth. The success of Lane Kiffin is that he has somebody that can look and find like if they're driving down, he's warning them about the blind spots, and he does stuff that Lane doesn't want to do.
Mm-hmm.
That's the only stipulation you give Dabo. If you fire Dabo Swinney, you'll end up just like Tennessee. You'll be up here looking at everybody else.
End up just like Nebraska. But to me, there'd be a big difference because Nebraska fired Frank Solich after one down year, after one 7-7 year. Right. Clemson's not going to do that to Dabo Swinney. That's where you go wrong. But if you've given a guy,
what's the difference between 7 and 8 wins? I mean,
well, that's
but there's parity in college football. This dude,
there is,
and he's still in his coaching prime.
Yes.
Now you got to give him a chance to adjust. If he goes,
but how long do you give him?
As long as it takes.
As long as it takes is too long sometimes.
Austin. He's a 2-time national championship coach
mm-hmm.
in the college football playoff era. Not this belong with. He is a national championship coach. You're not going to replace him by going to McNeese State or whatever and giving this dude. We've seen it with Billy Napier. He is not an iconic coach. Take that out of it. He's a national championship coach. Now, what can get him pushed out or mutually parted ways is two things. Potentially going to Alabama. That's number one, right? Because that's where he played. That's where he's from. That's number one. Number two, if he's not willing to adjust. Number three, I'm going past another one. If sometimes you get a new AD and he doesn't get the support. We've seen that. But if you think you're going to go, or Bo Pelini, I was thinking about, well, if you get that and you're like, okay, we're going to fire the coach or we're going to push him out because you're on a downslide, and when it's a purposeful move by the NCAA or the powers that be to create parity through NIL, even though you have the support, that's a catastrophic mistake because it takes a unique person, okay, that to coach at Clemson.
Mm-hmm.
It's not. This is not. You're not flying. It's first of all, it's a hard place to get to.
Mm-hmm.
Now, sure, can he adjust the way he recruits? He's very late on offering guys. I think that's what he says. He doesn't like to go and recruit and all that, right? And there's other things that he can do to, obviously put some of that stuff at bay. But more importantly, just because this is a perfect example here. And I remember talking to Sean Bryson, my former teammate in Buffalo, and some of the other guys I knew that played at Tennessee. When Philip Fulmer, they got to the SEC championship. The next year they were supposed to win it. They didn't win it. That following year, they pushed him out, and up until now, they've been reeling. And I remember telling them this because I had firsthand experience. Be careful what you wish for. Because when you start deviling in expectations, which is based on emotions, you forget the standard, but then also you don't look at it clearly. Has Clemson been a letdown? Yes. Has Dabo Swinney, does he got to take the blunt of the blame for it? Yes, he's the head coach and he makes $10, $11 million a year. But I also think that you got to give him a chance to get it right. Now, if you're
that's what I'm concerned about. You're number two, right? Give him a chance to adjust. I completely agree, which is why I'm not saying fire Dabo Swinney. Because I'm not saying get rid of him now. Clearly, he's a failure. He's too slow to adjust.
3 years from now, they're at 7-7. Sure, I'm sure he'd be ready to leave because he would say, you know what, my message isn't being heard and all this other stuff. I think that type of coach is with Dabo. There's a lot of things that I don't agree with Dabo. I really don't. I think sometimes coaching at a place like Clemson, small markets, you can look at yourself in the mirror and think you're a 12 out of 10 and you're an 8. And you can say things and do things that will have long-term ramifications on your program, not in the present, but in the future. That's where he's at. That's where he's at. Now, how he adjusts from that is one thing, and that's where it's a tricky situation because Clemson, you got to think, when they fired the coach when Dabo was a wide receiver, nobody wanted to coach there.
No. He was all they could do.
Hey, dude, you got a nice personality. You're the wide receiver coach, newly wide receiver coach that kind of worked his way up, and obviously it's a great choice. And sometimes, maybe you missed something, but you've been winning so much and you maybe haven't addressed some things. I think ideally you'd like to see a coach go back to the drawing board, but don't panic. Because I think when you panic, man, you make bad decisions and then you'll get into it where you got to double down on a bad decision from that decision.
And then you go from 6-6 to 3-9, and then you really have no one lining up to coach there. I completely agree. No. I'm with all of that. You ended up exactly where I wanted to go, though, was, what's the rope? What's the length of time that Dabo Swinney would have in terms to prove the adjustments? Because you obviously can't cut bait right away. That's not fair to him. That's not fair to your program. That's a horrible look. But also you can't just let him coast by on reputation. Right? That's what I'm saying. Like Miguel Cabrera at the end of his career.
I don't think it's record-based. I think his is action-based.
Yes, and if you're the athletic director, I think it's Dan Radakovich, you should have the best idea of anyone that, okay, maybe the record's not there, but he's still running a tight ship. He's still running a good program. They're going through the right things.
Clemson's going to win. They're always going to win. They're always going to be in the conversation. The ACC has got to get Clemson there so they can have more seats at the table. That's why they really probably want 16 teams, right? Now they can't get more seats at the table because do you really trust Florida State? Let's be honest. You really don't trust Miami. You trust Clemson. You don't trust anybody else in the ACC. No. So it's Clemson or bust as far as getting a modern-day blue blood there. I think I call it action-based versus results-based or record-based.
Process versus results.
Here's why I say. Because if I'm the AD And it might be conversations we've had before. Hey, Dabo, come on, what do we think about the season? You made suggestions, and guess what the answer would be? I just got to the college football playoffs. That conversation isn't going anywhere, right?
Right.
Because you upset SMU,
Mhm.
and you played pretty competitive with Texas. That's how you got in the position right now. But now you can have those realistic conversations of some of the adjustments that you maybe have wanted or pushed for, both in, really looking at the transfer portal, or how do you evaluate your roster, or whatever it is that you maybe had wanted, some adjustments at, and then you have checkpoints and have a realistic conversation with them. No, by no means are you on the hot seat, but more or less, let's get up to speed so we can let your coaching ability and everything you've been great at be on a level playing field. Because I think when granted, you probably saved Clemson a ton of money.
Oh,
right?
yeah. Oh, yeah.
That's great.
Yeah.
But you're seeing the fruits of your non-labor right now. But so now you got to find a little happy medium, and then you got to push him to the maximum. Because if he thinks he's going to – now, if he sticks his heels in the sand, it's like, I don't want to listen to him, then that's how you get fired, quickly. So that's why I think it's action-based.
No, I'm with you. I completely agree on that. I had completely spaced off that Dan Radakovich had moved to the U. He's the Miami athletic director now, and taking over for him was Graham Neff, who had been the deputy AD under Radakovich for 7 or 8 years. Jay, let's talk about that game and plenty more to get to in the ACC and across college football over the course of the next 20 minutes or so. Miami, Florida State. It's a big one. Top 20 matchup, number 3 Miami on the road at number 18 Florida State. Florida State averaging 600 yards a game so far this year, but of course Miami led by a guy that's in the conversation to go number 1 overall in Reuben Bain Jr.
Yeah.
You know what time it is. You know it's time for the U. They're on the road in Tallahassee, late night primetime kick on ABC. Fascinated by this game. Again, 4-0 Miami, 3-1 Florida State.
Right.
This is a big one for pole position in the ACC, along with another game we'll get to here in just a moment.
Yeah, I think this game, I mean, obviously the records are out the door. I mean, this is a game of kids that have been knowing each other, literally grew up, on the same street or across the street and playing it against each other since they've probably been in 4th grade. So this is a rivalry game that goes back years, and there's good bad blood and indifferent blood. And so it's going to come down to the wire. You got 2 very, very competitive teams. You got Florida State that's probably better than a 18th ranked, and they're going to be hyper focused, and they're going to be coached up and played. They're going to play a lot better coming off the upset loss at Virginia, and they're probably telling themselves that they were looking past Virginia, where Virginia beat the brakes off of them physically.
Yeah,
that's where I think you'll see a better effort from, in particular that Florida State defense. But Miami ain't changed.
No.
Okay, they've been lining up since probably spring and beating the tar out of everybody on their offensive line. They got the best defensive player in the country. He should go number 1. You got Carson Beck playing like a first-round pick. He's healthy.
A couple picks in the last couple weeks, but
and you got
still
two legit running backs, and you got all the receivers, and obviously you got the defense. I mean, they got 2 bookend defensive ends, 4 defensive tackles, linebackers. It's going to be a physical game, but I'm going to pick the Miami just because they got a little bit more consistency. And then also I think Carson Beck has been in these moments and been successful and versus Florida State, who that Virginia loss was alarming in the sense of how they got beat, where you couldn't take advantage of an opportunity,
right? Of
multiple opportunities on the road or not. And you essentially got embarrassed. And when a coach tells you you're going to beat you up physically and do it, they sure enough did it.
Speaking of Virginia, the Wahoos are on the road at Louisville. 4-1 Virginia, new to the top 25 at number 24 against undefeated Louisville, who is down 17 points, came back to win at 34-27 with a dominant second half against Pitt last week. Louisville is going for its second 5-0 start in the last 3 years under head coach Jeff Brom. You get kind of the 2 sides of the coin here. Virginia, the quick infusion of cash in the transfer portal, identified really well. They're off to a great start at 4-1. And then Louisville, who brings the alum home in Jeff Brom, doing some really similar things to what he did at Purdue in terms of building the program, the style and the scheme that he's running. I've been impressed with the job that Jeff Brom has done at Louisville. And I will say, Jay, it's absolutely Clemson or bust in the ACC, to your point from earlier in the segment. I do still think, even though it's Jeff Brom,
right?
I still think the name Louisville carries some cachet. I think that's a school that in a relatively big Adidas school, people remember the Lamar Jackson days. They remember that they've been good at basketball for a while. Baseball's been in the limelight in the College World Series. Louisville's not, the front of everyone's mind, but I feel like very few people like, ew, Louisville or whatever, Louisville, who's that? Like, I think Louisville is in that tier of schools in the ACC. Obviously, you go to Miami, Florida State first. I think Louisville's in that next tier of teams that if they jump up to some pretty consistent success, you're not surprised, and it feels like there's some credibility behind it.
Yeah, I mean, they're going to, it's going to depend on how much they get into the NIL game, and obviously recruiting, is huge. I mean, they recruit Florida better than some of the Florida schools do. And so
Teddy Two Gloves is Miami guy.
Right, and so they've done a really good job of stockpiling talent. I do think they have a home field advantage playing in Louisville. They've put in money to the stadium. And it's a great atmosphere. And they're playing a game Virginia team. This is not the Virginia team with like Terry Kirby where it's kind of throw it around all the time. And I was obviously dating myself. These dudes with Tony Elliott is lining up. It's old school Clemson. I'm punching you dead in the face. We're defensive based. This game, I think the Florida State Miami game is going to be a classic, but I think this is going to be way better than the North Carolina game and Clemson game because I think you got two even teams. I like Brom. I'm a little disappointed in Brom the way they ended the season.
Sure.
And then also I'm a little bit wary of how they beat Pitt. It's great when you can really lie to yourself that you were down so much that you came back, right? And it's like, we won the game. Now we got to figure it out. You still don't got to figure it out.
That's got to be the exception.
Right.
You can't make a living doing that. You can get away with one, maybe two of those a year. But if that's who you are, you're not sustainable.
Now, if you don't address that first half, that second half will be null and void because Virginia will line up and just run it up and down the field and do what they need to do. I'm going to only pick Louisville because they're at home. I'm not going to be surprised if Virginia not only beats them, but then reverse covers for them and beats them by more than 6 points.
You heard it here first, folks. Jay Foreman made his pick. Lots going on in the ACC, a game that I thought would have been better, too, going into the year, Syracuse and SMU. Really curious to see where Syracuse is at after Steve Angeli goes down with a non-contact knee injury. They get blasted by Duke in Durham last week. Big thanks to Carissa, her team at Cornhusker Bank here for getting us set up on the patio, ready to go for the Cornhusker Bank Customer Appreciation and Husker Tailgate. It's pretty much 4:30. Come on, stop on down to 83rd now. Get your hors d'oeuvres, get your drinks, get your old school on, of course, with you here for the next hour and a half as well. More big games in college football. We'll discuss the weekend ahead when we get back to old school.
Watch Old School live on Facebook, YouTube, or Twitch. Old School with Foreman and Orman on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Hi, Sean Callahan here for Koppel Chevrolet GMC. This month kicks off Koppel's 50th anniversary sale. We're celebrating 50 years by offering an additional $500 discount to the next 100 customers that buy a new vehicle. This is in addition to the huge savings already in place. You can take an extra $500 off our discounted price, or we can cut you a check on the spot. Celebrate with savings and see why customers have trusted Koppel since 1975. It's our way of saying thank you for all these years.
At Fairway Meat Market, your family. And as part of the family, they want to save you money on your meat and groceries. Now through October 5th, enjoy 8-ounce USDA choice bacon wrapped sirloins for $5.88 each. All natural boneless chicken breast, $2.99 per pound. Fresh pork sausage, $2.49 per pound. And fresh salmon fillets for $9.99 per pound. That's all at Fairway Meat Market in the Rockledge Square Shopping Center just south of 84th and Van Dorn.
Rosie's Sports Bar and Grill, open for lunch and dinner at 1501 Center Park Road, just south of 14th and Highway 2.
Hey, Husker fans, Max 10 is turning up the excitement this season. They're giving away a pair of Husker volleyball tickets, and every time you tan, you're entered to win. Experience the 2025 season tour featuring high-pressure tanning, rejuvenating red light therapy, and flawless spray tanning, all for just $20.25. Look good, feel amazing, and cheer on the Lady Huskers in style. Max Tan. Take it to the max.
Schweizo Construction is now hiring for skilled craftsmen, steel erectors, concrete workers, and general laborers. Schweizo Construction offers great benefits like premium wages, health and dental insurance, paid holidays and vacation, 401k with company match, life insurance, and disability insurance. They pride themselves on a legacy of 40 years built on integrity and trust. Joining their team means becoming part of a family that values hard work, dedication, and mutual respect. Apply today at Schweizo.com. That's SCHWISOW.com.
Here at Aspen Builders, our company is building more homes today than I thought we would ever build.
Bob Benish is the founder and president of Aspen Builders, online at aspenbuildersinc.com.
You know, I am just shocked at how strong our market is here in Lincoln and at Aspen Builders. We're probably helping people right now more than ever get into a new home. We've been able to find pieces of ground we can develop affordably and keep our lot prices down a little bit. I think with our volume discounts and our office staff, 35 years of experience, we figure out a plan that's going to work great for you. We make it perfect. We make it fit your price range. All of this is part of the reason we're so busy.
Make your dream home a reality and call Aspen Builders at 423-6811. Online at aspenbuildersinc.com. Your home is waiting at Aspen Builders.
Join LES at 6 p.m. Thursday, October 9th at the LES Operations Center to learn about the utilities' proposed 2026 budget and electric rates and share your input at the annual public meeting. Learn more at les.com.
Rico here with HIS Auto Care at 70th and Van Dorn, letting you know HIS is a great place to bring your vehicle for service. With superior service bumper to bumper, we'll treat your vehicle like it's your mother's. Doesn't get any better than that. So call 402-488-8934 and HIS Auto will make you glad you did. 5% off, mention this ad, and for sure your mother will be proud you called. 402-488-8934, HIS Auto Care, 70th and Van Dorn. God bless you.
Ready to score big with your projects? Look no further than Edward Stone, the MVP of natural stone for over 2 decades. Edward Stone is cranking out over 30,000 square feet every week and offers a winning lineup of over 70 quality natural veneer stone selections. Their unbeatable variety and experienced team will ensure your project is a success, whether it's a home renovation or a commercial build. And hey, they're not just about stone. They've got an all-star lineup of fireplaces, cast stone, brick, and much more. Swing by one of their locations in Lincoln or Omaha today and experience the Edward Stone difference, your reliable choice for over 20 years.
Are you looking for an exciting new way to put your skills to work? Explore new career options in the fintech industry at Currency, a Sandhills global company. We offer full-time positions in financial sales, compliance, operations, and other fields. We also offer a 4.5-day work week, an attractive benefits package, and opportunities for advancement. Put your motivation to work and grow with us at Currency. Visit gocurrency.com/careers to learn more.
Are you ready for a new opportunity? Check out Sandhills Global. Join a dynamic team where your skills are valued and your career can soar. We offer full-time positions with a 4.5-day work week, competitive pay, excellent benefits, and a positive work environment. From IT and marketing to sales and finance, we're looking for talented individuals just like you. Apply today at sandhills.jobs and take the first step towards an exciting future. That's sandhills.jobs. Don't wait, apply now.
Time for a new heating and cooling system? Get the options, brand, and efficiency that best fits your family and your home. Call Bryant Air Conditioning, Heating, Electrical, and Plumbing.
Back to old school with Foreman and Orman on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
We're back here on Old School. Lost Norman, Jay Foreman with you. Approaching the time, we get Larry the Cable Guy on the air. Stay tuned for that coming up very shortly. This segment of the show brought to you by Heartland of Nebraska Windows. Based out of Howland, Nebraska, they offer a free estimate, full window replacements, all vinyl triple pane windows, and a lifetime warranty on everything while keeping their prices affordable. Heartland of Nebraska Windows is locally and family-owned with their own team of installers. Give Heartland of Nebraska Windows a call today for more information at 402-430-3852. Or visit them online at heartlandofnebraskawindows.com. 402-464-5685 if you want to be a part of the show. 83rd and O if you want to come hang out with us live for Old School for the next hour and a half at Cornhusker Bank. Again, 83rd and OJ. Plenty more big games across college football this weekend. We'll start in the Big Ten. One of the more intriguing games to me, Washington. Game against Ohio State, maybe a little physically beat up by the end of the game. They fall 24-6. Against undefeated Maryland. Cross-country trip for the Huskies to take on the Terps. Maybe the first big test that Maryland has faced this year. Really curious to see how Washington handles the travel. I think Washington's a little bit better than Maryland in a vacuum. Yeah. Travel might play a little bit of a factor, but either way, fascinating game between two teams that want to be on the rise in the Big Ten.
Yeah, I mean, it's going to come down to quarterback play. You got Williams that really showed flashes last year. He kind of is where Maryland's quarterback is right now. It showed some flashes, and then now obviously Williams is popping. But I think Washington will win this game, even though they'll start off slow. I think when you got a legit three-headed monster and the quarterback, wide receiver, and definitely the running back, I think you're light years ahead of Maryland, even though they have a really, really good young quarterback, and they have one of the best defensive ends or defensive players in all of Big Ten. So, I don't think it'll be an easy test, but I think Maryland will be, more than a game opponent. But I think Washington at this point in the season is ahead of schedule or farther ahead as far as like continuity and being able to, I call it walk and chew gum, than Maryland. So, the best advantage that Maryland has is they have an excellent play caller in Mike Locksley. They have the quarterback that they want. They have a sneaky good defense, and he's always going to be able to scheme guys and wide receivers and running backs open. So if they can create some turnovers early, kind of pin Washington down, that's exactly what Ohio State did. Then they can play small ball with their quarterback play. But it's a lot to put on a freshman, even though he's at home, to control the clock and kind of orchestrate the whole game, offense, defense, and special teams this early in his career, because it's only his fourth or fifth game.
In terms of overcoming the body clock, again, having not done the whole NFL countrywide travel thing, from my perspective, it seems like a great way to get over some of that early game sluggishness is to have a big, exciting play. That snaps your sideline into it, whether that's, a DeMond Williams long run, a long catch from Denzel Boston, or a big defensive play.
Yeah.
To me, a splash play for Washington is going to be pretty big early. And here's the other part about it, Jay. Washington, 6.5-point favorites on the road. Maryland is one of 3 teams in Division I FBS football to not trail yet this year. Now they've, all played football long enough to have trailed at some point in their lives, but this is a new group. This is a new team. Curious to see if Washington does get that big splash play early, they get up 10-0 or whatever, how Maryland responds, because it's been the end of the season that's kind of kicked Maryland in the butt. They're so used to starting quick in something like this where they're 4-0.
Right.
But the real test will come in 2 ways for this Maryland team. How do they handle adversity if they face any against Washington, when they face them against Washington? And then 2, can they start finishing season stronger to go from the 6-6 level they've been at to that 8-4, maybe even 9-3 level with better success in late October and November?
Yeah. I mean, as much as Mike Locksley got all the credit that well deserved of when they had, I think they had 8 back-to-back bowl games and then 1 8-win season. I think the other was 7-5. Now you have to reset. You got to think they lost Edwards, their quarterback. They lost Hemby, their running back. They lost their best offensive lineman to Ole Miss, and then they lost a defensive player.
Well, Ty Felton's gone.
Ty Felton's gone, and then also number 1 from Michigan, Ferrum. It was at Maryland. He was a starting linebacker. So I mean, there's 5 NFL players that Mike Locksley lost, or potentially all Big Ten players. He's lost out of his locker room, and he's replaced it obviously with everything in Malik. And so, how they finished last year was disappointing, but I think that was more internal than external, right? And that, a lot of it was lack of support, NIL. I think they addressed that because Mike Locksley talked freely at Big 12 or Big 10 media days about some of the issues that they had NIL support wise, and obviously they addressed it. So, like I said, I think it's a tough task considering Jed Fish knows how to travel. That's one thing he said to me privately. He learned the travel with Washington is a lot different in college than the pros. So he knows that. So they're going to travel better. And you're completely right. You have a young team that's off to a 4-0 start. They've never trailed. They've never faced quote-unquote adversity. You want to try to strike quick. But if you don't strike quick, then it's almost being down by 2 scores, because here comes Maryland. You better knock them out, and you better be clean in that first 15 plays that you have in your play sheet, and be effective and be able to plan for Maryland to make a run back, because Maryland is a dangerous team, and obviously we'll see them here in a couple weeks.
That we will. It'll be Nebraska against Michigan State before the road trip out to Maryland in 8 days. Now on to the SEC, Jay. First ranked versus ranked matchup between Alabama and Vanderbilt since I believe 1937. Vandy's on a roll. Alabama seems to be figuring some things out, obviously off a big win over Georgia. What's your intrigue level for this game between the Commodores and the Crimson Tide?
I'm going to see if Alabama can validate that win against Georgia. Now, Georgia is not the Georgia of old, right? and they are in they're in a sneaky transition now.
Mhm.
That's why the SEC doesn't really.
Well, Ole Miss has the best odds to win the conference right now.
Right, but they don't have the
bell
same
cow.
cachet that they have, right? Where the Saban's gone, Georgia's kind of struggling. But Alabama went in there and is a total about face than what you saw against Florida State. So that means, okay, DeBoer does still have the locker room.
Mhm.
Okay, let's see if you can go and motivate the team, still keep that same discipline, that toughness, execution, and beat a Vanderbilt team, although ranked. That you listen, they embarrassed you last year,
big time.
Okay,
Mhm.
you got them at home. So
Mhm.
so it's never been that you circled Vanderbilt, on your schedule,
right?
But I can guarantee you, as part of the motivation tactics in the offseason. So we're going to see what Alabama is all about. But I think Alabama will pull off. I like their quarterback. They got one of the best rosters in the nation. They just haven't played up to it, but they're starting to, obviously. So I think they'll beat Vanderbilt.
How about this one then? Maybe not where teams or people thought
Here
these
we
two
go.
teams would be. Down in Gainesville.
Oh,
Number
yeah.
9 Texas, 3-1, kind of a sneaky 3-1, given the conversation around them against Florida at 1-3, one of the toughest schedules in the nation. Not where we thought we'd be with this game in terms of the conversation around the quarterbacks.
Yeah.
3-1 for Texas, not overly surprising the way they've gotten there, maybe a little bit. 1-3 wasn't off the table for Florida, but here the Gators are. Good for them, they get a home game. Bad for them, they're still scuffling. Doesn't look like they have many answers right now.
They got a heck of a defense. They got some definitely NFL talent across. I mean, you got Warren Sapp's son, and you got the big, I think, Tubbs that came back last week, and he paid dividends. They got a really, good and tough defense. So that'll keep them in the game, especially against a Texas offense and Arch Manning that is average at best.
Yeah.
This game is going to come down to what former 5-star number 1 overall recruit quarterback is actually going to be able to play and play well. Now, I think DJ Lagway is a little bit, on the compromise a little bit, but I think, from everything I read, he'll be able to play. You got Arch Manning. So whichever one plays well enough to win, that's who's going to win. Because talent for talent, right? Florida's defense will be able to match up with Texas. If Florida's offense is playing, then that you'll understand why they were kind of potentially, or expectation was maybe they could sneak into the college football playoffs, because you expected Lagway to take a big jump. They ended the season really well. And I told you last year, it was a great job saving end of the season for him. And he had to, because they didn't want to obviously pay the buyout. But I experienced this sometimes in the NFL, and you see some teams like this when you're playing, you have nothing to lose, and you kind of go on a run in the NFL, and they're like, oh, next year they're ready. No, you're still the same team that had your back against the wall before, and that's where Florida's at. I hate it for Napier, but I understand where it's at. I'm going to pick Texas, but I would not be surprised that it comes down to the last possession, field goal, or a late touchdown.
Texas just a touchdown favorite on the road in Gainesville. And Jay, we've had really conversations about two teams that ended the year with that little bit of an upswing. Florida took their momentum from 1-3, or from 7-5 into a 1-3.
Yep.
Michigan took their momentum from 7-5 into a bowl win over Alabama. Now they're sitting here at a really good record. So
yeah. I mean, it can go either way. I think Michigan is probably a little bit more tidied up as far as, at the quarterback position,
which is fascinating to think about.
And I think it's the way they use them.
Gotcha.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then they were able to lean on the run. It's still early. Now, I think Florida just obviously it's harder for Florida because they have just up until late January, you didn't know if he was going to be your coach. So, there wasn't the continuity there, or the really solid, ground that you would think you would like in a program. The coach was potentially going to get fired twice. He was going to get fired during the season where the AD came out and said, we're keeping him. Then there were some guys that were potentially going to go to Florida, like after the, playoffs or whatever. So that's not an excuse. They just haven't lived up to expectations. They need to find a way, kind of like Michigan, to see, okay, what do you do Lagway the best? Okay. And, you hear the rumblings coming out of there that he's getting preferential treatment and then he's not playing well and all that. Listen, he's the quarterback. He's going to get preferential treatment. What you need to do is find a way to get him to play his best against the best competition and play up to his potential. Because what you don't want is him to go somewhere with a coach that can develop him, and then you're looking at a guy that you had right in your facility scoring touchdowns not only against you but other teams.
A couple other interesting games. Boise State at Notre Dame, big one for the Irish last week. They thumped Arkansas. You look as well at Iowa State, Cincinnati in the Big 12 has my attention. Even Mississippi State, A&M,
There it is.
4-1 versus 4-0. Mississippi State had Tennessee on the ropes there for a while. Vols ended up pulling that one off. Jay, are you any more a believer in Texas A&M this year than you were last year, or are you
No.
just waiting for the fade?
I'm not worried. I'm not a believer in Texas A&M at all. I think that they're kind of like Florida. They're going to do that, then they're going to get to the apex, and then they're going to drop right off and do their thing like they always do. I think that Mississippi State, they jumped out and I think they beat Arizona State, right? And then you thought, okay, well this is the team. I think they're going to be sneaky tough. I like their coach. I like that they're always kind of like especially now this year with Ole Miss really, obviously beating LSU last week. They're kind of really under the radar, but I think Texas A&M would defend home field just because of that home field. If it was at Stark Vegas, I think they would, that Mississippi State would win. But this game will go down to the wire. I mean, that's what that's what Texas A&M is. It was 41-40 against Notre Dame. They're going to allow you to score. You got to stop the quarterback. But we'll see what happens when it comes down to the wire.
You don't got to stop the party here at the Cornhusker Bank Customer Appreciation Tailgate. It is getting busy. There's still plenty of room out here on the patio. The weather is beautiful. We're here on the north side of 83rd and out at Cornhusker Bank, pretty much entirely in the shade. At least for us, most of you on the patio are in the shade as well. Really appreciate Cornhusker Bank throwing a fantastic party, getting us set up for a fantastic weekend in sports, specifically in Husker sports. We'll keep talking more Nebraska at Michigan State as we bring on a guest soon. Mr. Larry, the Cable Guy, in the building. We'll get him on the air sometime here in the near future. Stay tuned for that one more segment here in hour 2 of Old School. We'll be right back in a sec.
You're listening to Old School with Jay Foreman and Austin Orman. Download the mobile app and listen wherever you are on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Hey, Husker fans, Max 10 is turning up the excitement this season. They're giving away a pair of Husker volleyball tickets, and every time you tan, you're entered to win. Experience the 2025 season tour featuring high-pressure tanning, rejuvenating red light therapy, and flawless spray tanning, all for just $20.25. Look good, feel amazing, and cheer on the Lady Huskers in style. Max Tan, take it to the max.
At Fairway Meat Market, your family. And as part of the family, they want to save you money on your meat and groceries. Now through October 5th, enjoy 8-ounce USDA choice bacon wrapped sirloins for $5.88 each. All natural boneless chicken breast, $2.99 per pound. Fresh pork sausage, $2.49 per pound. And fresh salmon fillets for $9.99 per pound. That's all at Fairway Meat Market in the Rockledge Square Shopping Center just south of 84th and Van Dorn.
All right, Lincoln, if you're a diesel technician who's ready to earn up to $40 an hour and you're tired of working nights and weekends, listen up. Inland Truck Parts and Service is hiring experienced diesel technicians right here in Lincoln, and they're offering what every hardworking tech wants. Monday through Friday hours, no nights, no weekends, and paid training on advanced diesel technology. With 37 locations across 12 states, career advancement opportunities are endless. Start building towards your future and apply today at inlandtruck.com. That's inlandtruck.com. Or text APPLY to 785-369-1320.
Are you ready for a new opportunity? Check out Sandhills Global. Join a dynamic team where your skills are valued and your career can soar. We offer full-time positions with a 4.5-day work week, competitive pay, excellent benefits, and a positive work environment. From IT and marketing to sales and finance, we're looking for talented individuals just like you. Apply today at sandhills.jobs and take the first step towards an exciting future. That's sandhills.jobs. Don't wait, apply now.
Ready to score big with your projects? Look no further than Edward Stone, the MVP of natural stone for over 2 decades. Edward Stone is cranking out over 30,000 square feet every week and offers a winning lineup of over 70 quality natural veneer stone selections. Their unbeatable variety and experienced team will ensure your project is a success, whether it's a home renovation or a commercial build. And hey, they're not just about stone. They've got an all-star lineup of fireplaces, cast stone, brick, and much more. Swing by one of their locations in Lincoln or Omaha today and experience the Edward Stone difference, your reliable choice for over 20 years.
This just in, hot off the bench press. Planet Fitness has expanded strength equipment. We're raising the bar with these benches, and our hack squat will have you actually looking forward to leg day. Plus, we're still repping all the best-in-class equipment we've always had. There's no better time to get stronger. Join the club today for $1 down, $15 a month, now through October 10th. Planet Fitness is proud to partner with Boys and Girls Clubs of America to create stronger, kinder communities. See Home Club for details.
If one of the things running through your mind as a business owner is the recurring worry of possible cyber attacks, you can let out a sigh of relief. Hamilton Business Technologies has you covered. As the official business IT partner of the Huskers, we offer real-time threat monitoring, advanced security protocols, and more to keep your data safe from harm. We care about the success of Nebraska businesses and communities like yours. Learn how we can help you at hamiltonisbusiness.com.
Hi, Sean Callahan here for Koppel Chevrolet GMC. This month kicks off Koppel's 50th anniversary sale. We're celebrating 50 years by offering an additional $500 discount to the next 100 customers that buy a new vehicle. This is in addition to the huge savings already in place. You can take an extra $500 off our discounted price, or we can cut you a check on the spot. Celebrate with savings and see why customers have trusted Koppel since 1975. It's our way of saying thank you for all these years.
Schweizo Construction is now hiring for skilled craftsmen, steel erectors, concrete workers, and general laborers. Schweizo Construction offers great benefits like premium wages, health and dental insurance, paid holidays and vacation, 401k with company match, life insurance, and disability insurance. They pride themselves on a legacy of 40 years built on integrity and trust. Joining their team means becoming part of a family that values hard work, dedication, and mutual respect. Apply today at schweizo.com. That's schwissow.com.
Hey guys, it's Monet here with The Night Before. Why have you not stopped in lately to see me? If you haven't been to The Night Before in a while, you are missing out. Up to 20 beautiful ladies each night. Newly remodeled bar. Oh, and we now have a 12-foot video wall to watch all the big games on. Come watch a game at The Night Before. Mention this ad and your first beer is $1. Check us out on Instagram at The Night Before Lounge. Hope to see you soon.
Hey there, this is Paul Scheel, owner of High Electric. I want to thank our friends and loyal customers and introduce High Electric to those looking for a new electrician. We've been serving the Lincoln and Omaha area for over 30 years, from design to install, upgrades, and repair. If you are a homeowner or a small business needing some electrical work, call us at 402-466-6606 or check us out at hyelectric.com. We look forward to hearing from you.
Back to old school with Foreman and Orman on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
We're wrapping up hour 2 of Old School live from Cornhusker Bank on 83rd and O. Customer Appreciation Husker Tailgate Party ahead of Nebraska and Michigan State. Austin Norman, Jay Foreman with you. This segment sponsored by League One Volleyball Nebraska. To renew your season tickets or secure them for the first time, visit lovb.com today. You can also become a Love Volleyball member for your chance at exclusive access to players, coaches, and fellow fans. Get your seats to watch Olympians, national team players, and former Huskers all take the court for Love Volleyball Nebraska this coming season. Couple things to get to here really quickly, Jay, as we wrap up hour 2. Xavier Watts, NFL Defensive Rookie of the Month for September. Not a bad first month of the year for the third round, number 96 overall draft pick. Obviously a Notre Dame product by way of Omaha Burks. 2 interceptions in your first month in the NFL. Pretty darn good start to a career for X.
Yeah, and he had the game-sealing interception against the Vikings. And so, look, he was pretty consistent. He was dominant at college. He was dominating or had a dominant month in the NFL. So more power to him. It's anytime you can bring positive light to not only Nebraska sports, but Nebraska high school sports, it's definitely a plus. But obviously he worked hard at it. And there's a reason why he's coming in and starting at day one as a rookie at safety, which is a hard feat to do. But obviously, he's a really good player.
DP, grab the headset for me here, because I want to bring some baseball stats your way since you're in the building. Last night, we had to make sure we were very careful to say both L's in Cam Schlittler's name.
Schlittler,
just to be safe. I'm going to run some stats by you. This is a guy who's a rookie in his 5th career appearance, 15th career appearance. He became the first pitcher in Major League Baseball history to go 8 innings with no walks and 12 punchies in a postseason game.
Filthy.
Pretty good. How about this? He had never gone 8 innings, had 12 strikeouts, or not walked a batter in a game before. First time he does it. Biggest stage of his life, Yankee Stadium elimination game against the hated Red Sox. His first professional game with double-digit strikeouts at any level comes in that same game. And here's the other part, DP, that I think will really speak to how he did it. He threw 107 pitches in 8 innings. 96 of them were either a four-seam, a sinker, or a cutter. 61 of them for strikes, 64 of them at 98 miles per hour. That's hit this, I dare you.
Yeah, this is a Mr. Go 30 opposite. Reverse. The moment was not too big. He's quite the athlete. He was built for the moment. He was ready when his time was called. It's those magical nights where the combination of pitches worked for him. He said he figured in the first inning that the break, he actually saw the break, which most pitchers will tell you, no, it's not really a thing. He saw the break, so then he could call the break. And then with the two-seam, he said he had control of the two-seam in the first inning, which is a field pitch, and he said he didn't have it normally in any of the previous 19-plus innings that he pitched. But last night, he threw the first one of each and went, yep, it's going to be that kind of party. Let's go.
The other part I think is interesting about Cam Schlittler, guy that went to Northeastern, pretty good baseball program up there in that conference. They've dominated it for a few years now. When he got to Northeastern as a freshman, he was throwing 88. And now 11 of his 107 pitches end up over 100 miles an hour. That's a testament to development. That's a testament to riding the wave of emotion as well, right? Being in the moment, not caught up in it, but making sure you utilize, hey, I'm pitching at Yankee Stadium against the Red Sox. I can ride this wave of emotion, some pretty cool stuff.
Well, his development, he's a part of that throwing group that they started in Alabama. University of Alabama and their coaches had developed some programs that could load up the arm. As a matter of fact, the young man we had on the old version of Old School, Hunter Hoops, who got famous from throwing. They said, who is this kid from Alabama that's pumping 106?
Yeah.
Well, it's the same program. And so the development to add plus one, if you saw pictures of him in high school, no offense, Austin Norman, he had Austin Norman legs. But now he's got tree trunks.
You think my legs are back? Look at my upper body. That's the part that's on screen. They're not there.
Well, where he built himself was in the lower body.
Right.
And he looks like tree trunk man now. And it saves the burden off the arm. He could flip it. And then that other thing, when the lower body works together, the upper body you can just snap, and it's more of a touch and texture breaking ball. That's what's allowed. 100+ with finesse and a second move. Yeah, he's got a nice future ahead.
Yankees on to the American League Divisional Series. They will take on the Toronto Blue Jays. The other side of the bracket, the Detroit Tigers and the Seattle Mariners. We'll go to break. Coming up in hour 3 of the show, Larry the Cable Guy joins us. 83rd and O location for Cornhusker Bank. Don't miss it. Larry the Cable Guy on with us next on 93.7 The Ticket.
Watch Old School live on Facebook, YouTube, or Twitch. Old School with Foreman and Orman on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Ready to score big with your projects? Look no further than Edward Stone, the MVP of natural stone for over 2 decades. Edward Stone is cranking out over 30,000 square feet every week and offers a winning lineup of over 70 quality natural veneer stone selections. Their unbeatable variety and experienced team will ensure your project is a success, whether it's a home renovation or a commercial build. And hey, they're not just about stone. They've got an all-star lineup of fireplaces, cast stone, brick, and much more. Swing by one of their locations in Lincoln or Omaha today and experience the Edward Stone difference, your reliable choice for over 20 years.
If one of the things running through your mind as a business owner is the recurring worry of possible cyber attacks, you can let out a sigh of relief. Hamilton Business Technologies has you covered. As the official business IT partner of the Huskers, we offer real-time threat monitoring, advanced security protocols, and more to keep your data safe from harm. We care about the success of Nebraska businesses and communities like yours. Learn how we can help you at hamiltonisbusiness.com.
Load up on meat and more this spring at The Mercado by Certified Piedmontese with great selections of T-bones, tomahawks, ribeyes, filet mignon, brisket, sirloin, and so much more. The Mercado has locations at 84th and Havelock, 30th and Yankee Hill, and now 85th and Old Cheney in Lincoln, where you can have $2 draft beer every Thursday night from 4 to 8 p.m. and half-price espresso drinks on Fridays from 8 a.m. to 2 p.m. Get to The Mercado today for the best meat in town.
The party is back on in Lincoln this fall, and there's no party like the A1 Automotive Ticket Tailgate pregame show. Join the whole ticket crew for 2.5 hours of pregame coverage before every home and away game this football season as they get you ready for the game. It's the A1 Automotive Ticket Tailgate pregame show at our downtown studio at 11th and O. Sponsored by Select Plumbing, Raising Cane's, Wall to Wall Wine and Spirits, Elway Power Sports of Lincoln, Currency, and the Kindler Hotel.
Hey guys, it's Monet here with The Night Before. Why have you not stopped in lately to see me? If you haven't been to The Night Before in a while, you are missing out. Up to 20 beautiful ladies each night. Newly remodeled bar. Oh, and we now have a 12-foot video wall to watch all the big games on. Come watch a game at The Night Before. Mention this ad and your first beer is $1. Check us out on Instagram at The Night Before Lounge. Hope to see you soon.
Hey there, this is Paul Shield, owner of High Electric. I want to thank our friends and loyal customers and introduce High Electric to those looking for a new electrician. We've been serving the Lincoln and Omaha area for over 30 years, from design to install, upgrades, and repair. If you are a homeowner or a small business needing some electrical work, call us at 402-466-6606 or check us out at hyelectric.com. We look forward to hearing from you.
I'm Kirk Herbstreit, and today I'm eating Raising Cane's. I want a solid bench of 4 chicken fingers, crinkle-cut fries with Texas toast. Now back to you, Todd.
So the usual.
Make Raising Cane's part of your game day lineup.
Time for a new heating and cooling system? Get the options, brand, and efficiency that best fits your family and your home. Call Bryant Air Conditioning, Heating, Electrical, and Plumbing.
Hi, Sean Callahan here for Koppel Chevrolet GMC. This month kicks off Koppel's 50th anniversary sale. We're celebrating 50 years by offering an additional $500 discount to the next 100 customers that buy a new vehicle. This is in addition to the huge savings already in place. You can take an extra $500 off our discounted price, or we can cut you a check on the spot. Celebrate with savings and see why customers have trusted Koppel since 1975. It's our way of saying thank you for all these years.
Wall-to-Wall Wine and Spirits is your place in North Lincoln to go for all your needs in wine, spirits, and beer. They also have a large variety of cigars in their walk-in humidor, and they have a top-notch walk-in temperature-controlled high-end wine room. Plus, you can enjoy free samples from their tasting bar. There's only one place to go for all your needs for spirits and cigars. That's Wall-to-Wall Wine and Spirits on North 27th Street in Lincoln.
This is Lincoln's home for sports talk on the FM dial. Also online at theticketfm.com. On the internet, KNTK FM Firth, 93.7 The Ticket. Coming at you live from the heart of Lincoln, America. This is Old School, sponsored by the Mercado by Certified Piedmontese. Nebraska Football Hall of Famer Jay Foreman and Austin Orman. Old School with Foreman and Orman on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
What up, Old School? We're live out here, 83rd and O Street at Cornhusker Bank. This is customer appreciation party, tailgate party, 4:30 to 6:30. It's already started. You get free hors d'oeuvres, barbecue, and drinks. Got my man, I like to call him Dan. I would say everybody else knows him. Larry, the cable guy. Welcome to Old School. Brought to you by the Mercado. How you doing, my friend?
I am doing fantastic. I feel good. I'm wearing a thong today, which is not good because it started out as boxer shorts.
Yeah.
So it's probably not a good day. No, it's good to be back. This is a tradition here at the Cornhusker
Right. It's the
Bank.
third year. Yeah. It's been great.
Third year in a row to come out here and do this and eat good food. That chicken's unbelievable.
Yeah.
And I told my wife I'm off sugar. I'm not going to eat any more sugar. Then I came out here, and I think I've eaten 320 of those Nebraska mints. so much for that.
You know, Dan, I always appreciate your knowledge just because of, obviously in your field, you know what it's like to kind of build your career. And obviously Nebraska's trying to build a program. And, you watch football, pretty astutely. What's your evaluation of this season? Obviously it's early. And then obviously we got a big game tomorrow. How satisfied have you been from your perspective?
You know what? I've been happy so far. I didn't think the defense was. I mean, you lose two big guys like that in the front, you're going to have some problems.
Right.
But man, I'm happy with it. We won our first game by 3 points. That's a game we normally would lose in the last
That's
minutes, regardless of they should have threw the pass or not thrown the pass, or they had it. They're the ones that made the mistake. We
Right.
didn't make the mistake. So we forced somebody to do a dumb mistake. We blew out teams we're supposed to blow out.
Right.
So that is a right track. I mean, back in the day, we would have probably beat Houston Christian by 17 points.
Right.
So definitely progress. I'm
yeah.
happy with the way it is all going. The thing that's irritating are the people that come on there after the Michigan game. Michigan's still Michigan.
Right.
You know, they're still Michigan. We got rules not the right guy. He's got to go.
We were just talking about
rules
that.
not the right. You know, you're never gonna win.
Right.
If you keep wanting to fire a guy every 2 or 3 years,
Right.
it ain't gonna happen.
Yeah.
You know, these are guys though that, you know, were second string in high school, or you played a little small college ball, and now they're sitting on the couch, you know, peeing in a Gatorade bottle because
Right.
they can't get off the couch because they're so fat. But yet they know how to run
Win a
football
national
team.
championship,
Yeah,
right,
They
yeah.
know all about it. You know, they're the guy on what's that movie? Where he said, if I had a football, I could throw it across that mountain right there.
Uncle Rico, Napoleon Dynamite.
Uncle Rico. There's always an Uncle Rico out
Yeah.
there. But guys like me, I'm 62, which can you believe that I'm 62 years
I
old?
would have never thought it.
Dude,
Yeah.
talk about, somebody told me the other day, you're the same age as, I'm older than the Golden Girls when they had the, you talk about a kick in the nads. That's one right there. Holy smokes. But anyway, so I remember growing up, you know, how good we were. And then the last 20 whatever years, it's like, but I'm patient. I know what it takes to do. I just wish some of these younger people would understand it is not like it was when I was growing up a Husker fan. Or
When the Golden Girls were older than you.
Yes, when you were playing, you know what I mean? It's different with the nil and the people transferring. And let me just give my 2 cents. People go, I'm sure they'll hear all this. I get off the air. You're a Canadian state. Stay in your lane. Stay in your lane.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah, you're not allowed to have an
BS.
opinion until it's asked, right?
I think everybody wonders what happened. Here's my thoughts on our football program. In 2005, when Bill Callahan got here, he was a nice guy. Okay. The funny thing about that is people thought I lived in the house that he bought. And I was going back and forth. So I'd come here, I'd live here for football season and go back to Florida. So I just loved it where I was at. But people would drive by the house on Saturday nights screaming how much I sucked. And I'm thinking, man, I didn't even do a show here. But now I'm thinking, they're thinking Bill Callahan lives here.
yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
now I get it. Now I get it. So after 3 mailboxes I had to replace, they figured out finally it wasn't there. But when Nebraska got away from their offense, when they got away from the option run, nobody did it better than Nebraska. We'd been running the same offense for 50 years.
50 years, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And when you change an offense and go to an offense that 70% of the rest of the country is running, there's nothing unique about you anymore. So we used to have all the running. We'd put linemen in the NFL all the time because we had these big kids, and all they had to do was open holes.
Right.
So all they had to worry
Right.
about was, and we could open holes.
Right.
Now you got to get ones that can open holes, and then you can pass
Pass
block.
block.
And if you're going to do that, it's hard to recruit that way because you don't have anything unique. You have to make. That's why we're doing all these stadium things. That's why you want to have the best locker room facilities. You want to have the best weight rooms. You want to have the best after school programs. You want to have the best. You want to have that. You've got to attract kids to come here. Before, all you needed to attract kids to come here was you're going to go 11 and you're going to win 11, 12 games a year, and you're going to go to a national championship game or a New Year's Day game. And all we needed was a dual threat quarterback. Get me a couple. Tom Osborne,
Right.
what do you need, coach? I need a dual threat quarterback. I need a good tight end. Get me a couple fast linebackers. We're good to go.
Yeah.
You know that. So it's been taking a long time to build a culture back from when you got away from 50 years of success. I think we're on the process of doing that, and I think I'm very happy with it. I'm very happy with Matt Rule, and I hope he's here for a long time.
It's one thing when you make the switch from the option offense to Dylan Raiola, but you didn't do that. You went to Joe Daly.
Yes.
No disrespect to Joe Daly, but I think the quarterback position is in a little better spot than it was 20 years ago.
Right. No, absolutely. So that's my diagnoses and what's happened with the football program. But they're getting it back. I love Coach Rule. I like Troy Dannon. We are facilities-wise, we are elite.
Yeah.
And we'll start getting more and more players.
You know, one of your points that I made, I like it's so interesting. And I'm going to ask you about it in your field. Is the wherewithal and the ability to have the confidence to stay, we call it down like 4 flat tires, into what made you successful. To be like me coming to you and saying, Dan, you know what? We need you to just totally change your whole comedy routine because it's new, right? You know,
right.
Talk about having the mental, power and obviously the confidence to do that, because it can change. You can make a present day decision that can have 20-some years of ramifications. Talk about this, the ability to have confidence of what you built and then obviously continue to get better at it.
Yeah, like my act was built over a certain amount of time.
Right.
And that is my style of comedy. That's my culture of comedy. Right. That is mine. I don't change it. I don't change what ain't broke.
Right.
I get up, I kill, I get laugh, boom, 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 get off stage and gone. If I were to completely go, you know what, let me try a different style for a while, see how that works out. Well, yeah, then it's going to take me an awful long time to rebuild.
To get back, right?
Eventually, I will, because I'm funny.
Right.
So eventually, if I went to a complete opposite style, I would find something that worked, but it would take a lot of years of struggle and figuring it out. So that's kind of like what the football team was doing. We went to complete opposite.
Yeah.
And so it's been taking us a long time to just build the culture.
Who would be the complete opposite of your style in comedy?
The complete opposite of me?
Yeah.
Well, it would have to be somebody that's a storyteller that's very low key. So, I mean, I don't know. I don't watch. I'm the only comedian that I.
Oh, obviously, I'm the only comedian I watch as well. But you're on tour with people. Didn't know if you had any.
No, the complete opposite of me. Well, there's a lot. I mean, what I do, a lot of people don't do. Right. I'm a one-liner comedian. I'm set up, punch, set up, punch, set up, punch. Mm-hmm. I'm not a political comedian. I'm not a storyteller comedian. I'm nothing like that. So. There's only a few comics Jeffrey Ross. He's a one-liner guy, a roast guy. You know, he's a buddy of mine. We always like to talk about. We had a conversation about that one time. There's all the old-time one-liner guys aren't around anymore.
Right.
So we try to keep it alive. You know, but I don't know who's the complete opposite of me. I don't know. Ron White's the complete opposite of me.
Right.
You know, I would say him. You know, Lewis Black's the complete opposite of me. There's a lot of comics complete opposite of me.
You know, Dan, from a fan's perspective, as you know, you have a really good view on college football and obviously in Nebraska. What's your view on how this game tomorrow is going to go against Michigan State, coming off a loss, obviously a bye week? What are you expecting to see tomorrow?
Well, obviously, every game I think we're going to win at 63-10. Now, I think they're going to have something to prove coming off their loss, and they got a bye week. But we're at home. I think that the win's going to affect. I initially had a score picked out of 45-24. If it comes down to if we can't throw the ball in the wind, I think we'll do a lot of dunk and dive and a lot of 3-yard, 4-yard, a lot of this. I think overall, obviously, I think we have the better athletes and the home field is really going to help us out a lot. I think Dylan will probably have his usual, 32 for 41, and 304 yards, and just
there's a whole hum day,
nothing over 25 yards. Right. And I think that I just have a feeling that they've watched these players now for 4 weeks. And they kind of know who wants to step up and who doesn't.
Right.
I think you're going to see a lot of younger guys that have been playing great.
Right.
That haven't. I think whether you call it burning a red shirt or not, you got to get them in there because there's some kids
making some plays
that are making some major plays.
Yeah.
So I think we're going to see a bunch of different guys on defense.
Right.
And I think we'll play a little bit better defense.
Yeah, a little faster, a little bit more want to. I think I project that too. It's a pretty good recruiting class for freshmen to come straight from high school to go out there and major college football, and they're all making impact. I want to ask you about Dylan. Obviously, he's been having to, obviously coming in, number one recruit. Dad's a legacy player, a teammate of mine. Actually, our dads went to college together. Talk about how well Dylan's been able to take the reins of the program, deal with some pressure, but then more importantly, perform when the team needs him the most.
Well, I love him. I think he's a great quarterback. I know a lot of people in Nebraska are not used to not having a real mobile quarterback.
Right.
So they have to adjust to that. But as far as a guy that can complete the passes and make awesome decisions, he's the guy.
Right.
I mean, does he hold the ball a little bit? He's a young kid. He's learning. He does hold the ball sometimes a little too long. But you know what? He's learning.
Yeah.
And I think those mistakes get less and less and less, and he gets better and better and better. And, I tell a lot of these guys, like I follow a lot of them on Twitter. And I get messages, from some. And my main thing I tell them is stay off the daggum internet.
Yeah.
Just stay off it. Everybody thinks they know what the hell they're talking about. You got here for a reason. You're Dylan Raiola for a reason. You're a good player. So just be you, do what you do, and have fun. That's the main key to football. Sometimes I think with all the stuff going on in the media and everybody knows we got to win and the stressfulness of that, you're not having fun. You're playing and you're not having fun. Like the volleyball team. The volleyball team, you can tell they're having fun.
Right.
I mean, they may be down, doesn't matter. They're going to have a good time. The football team needs to play like they just have fun and play, and whatever happens, happens. You got the talent, but you got to have fun. You play better when you have fun. And as far as these people going, he's like the quarterback of Kansas.
Mahomes?
He's like Mahomes. Well, look. All kids emulate people that they like.
Yeah.
I could care less who he emulates as long as he plays good.
Right.
Everybody, when you're a kid and you're playing sports, everybody has emulated somebody. There's a little bit of somebody and somebody else. And so I don't think that's a big deal at all. But I like him. I like Dylan a lot. And I think he's only going to get better and better. I think he gets a bad break. I think he's I think he's one of the best quarterbacks in the country. And, so yeah, that's what I think.
I always like to ask people, obviously, with your status and stuff, and obviously a Nebraska football fan, give me your top 3 all-time Huskers. Your favorite Huskers.
Oh man, there's so many.
I know, but that's cool.
And he knows all of them. Jay put him in a bad spot. He's got to name all of them.
Well, my all-time favorite Husker is going to surprise a lot of people because I was a Raider fan growing up, and I loved Phil Villapiano.
Yeah.
So I always rooted for number 41, Phil Ellis.
Do you know Phil Ellis's nickname?
I met Phil a couple times.
It's Dr. Death.
Yeah, he's a crazy man.
Yes,
I know that.
he is.
I know he's a crazy man. But I was always a Phil Ellis fan. And I know everybody said, look, everybody knows Johnny. I know John. I love Johnny to death. He's one of my all-time favorites.
Right.
But I'll go with somebody that I'm getting older, so from the 95 team that was from the Sand Hills. What was his name? Number 95. What was his name?
Jason Peter?
No. It's not. I love Jason. No, hey, Jason. I know Jason.
95.
Oh man, what was it? Remember he got the sack.
Oh,
there?
Terry Keneally.
Terry Keneally.
He was 99. He
99,
was from he's a Western Nebraska.
Western Nebraska, lived out on a ranch out there.
Yeah.
I love Terry Keneally, man. He was the man. I mean, just from small town Nebraska.
Yeah, 8-man football too.
8-man football, the sack and daggum, Miami quarterback in the end zone. It was awesome. And then my third one, who would I pick from my third one? Oh.
Not Jay Foreman.
I love Jay.
I know.
I'd probably pick Darren Erstad because we had the only punter that wanted to kill people.
Yeah.
And I think that's pretty good. He was hard-headed. I loved him, man. You didn't mess with our punter. when
No,
Derek
man,
was out
he's a
there.
tough dude. I didn't even know, to be honest. I'm gonna tell you a funny story about Darren. So when you're in the, I call it the arena, and you're winning, like, oh, he's a punter, he's over there, but he would always leave practice because Coach Osborne let him go hit, and I was like, oh, he plays baseball. I mean, who plays baseball, right? And they were like, man, he's pretty good. Oh, okay, how good could he be? You're at Nebraska, right? And I grew up watching the Frederick Keys with my grandfather. That's how I knew about Nebraska, because they had a pitcher that was out there. And so the season is over, and he eventually gets drafted. But it's after the spring game. I go to this house party. It's a kegger, right? So you're Darren, and I'm drinking.
Boy, Darren at a kegger,
right? So he's sitting down there, and I just had read the Daily Nebraskan. Erstedt goes #1. And I sat down. I said, man, me and you been in the locker room, winning national championships, and hanging out there with a jockstrap. You ain't tell me you were that good at baseball. He's like, yeah, I'm pretty lucky. He's the humblest dude out there. I didn't realize how good he was. He went #1. I felt like an idiot, but he's obviously, and he's tough, though. That's one thing about Darren. He's a tough dude.
He's old school baseball player. That's so funny. You had no clue. He's the #1 pick
no
in the country.
He would leave practice, Dan. I'm like, man, look at this punter. But then I knew he was a good, because my dad obviously affiliated with the NFL. They're like, man, that dude. He was like, man, that Darren Erstedt, man, he's a heck of an athlete. Because remember he did the fake field goal and ran it in.
Yeah.
And my dad was at the game. He's like, man, he could probably play in the pros, And then next thing you know, he goes #1 in the draft.
And hockey might have been his best sport.
Yeah.
I know, right?
Yeah.
Probably would have been.
Yeah.
That's crazy. Well, it's like Tom Glavine. Tom Glavine was drafted high the first round to play hockey in the pros, and he ended up playing baseball too. Yeah, that is crazy. I love Del Erstedt, but man, he's a legend out there for the Angels. I mean, he was a hard-nosed player. I love baseball, so.
Dan, you get to play with a lot of baseball players, ex-football players, and obviously celebrity tournaments, and obviously you have your one here in Nebraska. Who's probably the best stick? Former, I guess, actor too. I mean, they got some good guys too.
There's a lot of, I got to say, I played in the American Century golf tournament in Lake Tahoe. First year I was ever in that, I hit a guy in the temple on the drive. Then I busted a car in the hotel parking lot.
You're aiming for him, right?
And I was the only celebrity that week to make Golf Channel and Court TV on the same day. It was very exciting. That's why I golf with 2 gloves, so I don't leave prints.
Yeah.
A lot of people have,
awesome.
A lot of people have names for their driver. Mine's Exhibit A.
Yeah.
No, but I love those tournaments. I do a lot of charity. I did 5 charity tournaments. Well, 4. I was going to do 5. One was for the Make-A-Wish kids, but their wish was for me not to participate in the tournament, so I didn't do that. Man, there's a lot of good sticks. Marty Fish.
Yeah.
Unbelievable. Mark Mulder.
Yep.
Unbelievable stick. And you know who is super nice, and we're good buddies, and I would have never thought he made it, the most talented person on the planet, Alfonso Ribeiro.
He's a good golfer.
Alfonso Ribeiro is not only a great golfer,
right,
but that guy can sing.
Oh, yeah.
He's like, he's like at the end, we always have this thing where you go up in karaoke and they save Alfonso for the end. He'll sing a daggum song that will make you cry. I ain't kidding. He is so good. I don't know why he didn't put his own album out, but he's good.
Well, he was in a rap group out east, and that's when he was on Fresh Prince, and they were like, hey, we're about to go on tour. He's like, no, I think I'm going to run with this Fresh Prince of Bel-Air thing.
No, right. Yeah, no kidding.
Yeah.
I had no idea. Wow. I was in a rap group. I was Biggie Fries. I was Biggie Fries. I was a big.
It was all you can eat. All you can eat, right?
I love the hair, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, look at that. You look so much younger.
Yeah. Well, you get a little gray and you go younger, man. Some of my workmates are hating over there, particularly that guy right there. You see with the red on right there.
I'll be honest.
Him and Jake Sorensen. I don't know where Jake's at. Jake looks at me like a kid the first time he sees his parent with glasses. He's been mad at me ever since I grew my hair out.
Jay used to be in a musical group too. Used to be a duo. Now it's just a solo act, Salt and Pepper.
Yeah. Yeah.
I saw you last night. I was flipping channels and I came across, and then I saw the big red wrap up, and I'm like, going, who's that? I go, is that Jay? What in the world's he done with his hair?
I was off up in Montana, man, hanging out for a little bit.
Man, look at that. It's all up. And it's always nice and shaved down.
Yeah.
But I like it. You look younger. You literally look 10 years younger.
We're going to keep growing it out until we get in the college football playoff.
Yeah.
So they better start doing it, or else it's going to be hell on wheels here in a couple of years, right?
Man, let's get on. Maybe I'll grow my hair out.
There you go. Hey, while I still have my line, I'm going to keep up at it. This is the main reason. One of my old football teammates, I saw him at a reunion, and his line was way back here. So I said, you know what, as long as my line's intact, I'm going to grow mine out. So,
your line's good. Yeah. Your line's solid for a while,
For a while,
You got a good front line.
Yeah, we got to knock on wood.
So. Now watch, he'll go home and we'll have a camera, and then he'll unglue his hair.
right. like the movies or something, right? Yeah, right. You like a strong breeze. Yeah, that would be fun. Tomorrow, right? That might make you talk about being on the internet, right? Everybody would be on the internet right there, right?
What was that? Was that an animal?
Right. Yeah.
Foreman's hair.
Someone get the raccoon.
Flag on the play. Yeah, that'd be a former linebacker, right? Toupee flies off, man. But appreciate you coming by. We're gonna take a quick break. Come back. Jay Foreman, Austin Orr. We got my man Dan Whitney live out here, 83rd Noe Street, Cornhusker Bank. Customer appreciation. We'll be right back.
Old School with Jay Foreman and Austin Orman. Download the mobile app and listen wherever you are on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Load up on meat and more this spring at The Mercado by Certified Piedmontese with great selections of T-bones, tomahawks, ribeyes, filet mignon, brisket, sirloin, and so much more. The Mercado has locations at 84th and Havelock, 30th and Yankee Hill, and now 85th and Old Cheney in Lincoln, where you can have $2 draft beer every Thursday night from 4 to 8 p.m. and half-price espresso drinks on Fridays from 8 a.m. to 2 p.m. Get to the Mercado today for the best meat in town.
Hey guys, it's Monet here with The Night Before. Why have you not stopped in lately to see me? If you haven't been to The Night Before in a while, you are missing out. Up to 20 beautiful ladies each night. Newly remodeled bar. Oh, and we now have a 12-foot video wall to watch all the big games on. Come watch a game at The Night Before. Mention this ad and your first beer is $1. Check us out on Instagram at The Night Before Lounge. Hope to see you soon.
Are you ready for a new opportunity? Check out Sandhills Global. Join a dynamic team where your skills are valued and your career can soar. We offer full-time positions with a 4.5-day work week, competitive pay, excellent benefits, and a positive work environment. From IT and marketing to sales and finance, we're looking for talented individuals like you. Apply today at sandhills.jobs and take the first step towards an exciting future. That's sandhills.jobs. Don't wait. Apply now.
I'm Kirk Herbstreit, and today I'm eating Raising Cane's. I want a solid bench of 4 chicken fingers, crinkle-cut fries with Texas toast. Now back to you, Todd.
So the usual.
Make Raising Cane's part of your game day lineup.
Are you looking for an exciting new way to put your skills to work? Explore new career options in the fintech industry at Currency, a Sandhills Global company. We offer full-time positions in financial sales, compliance, operations, and other fields. We also offer a 4.5-day work week, an attractive benefits package, and opportunities for advancement. Put your motivation to work and grow with us at Currency. Visit gocurrency.com/careers to learn more.
Are you ready to transform your body and your life in just 10 weeks? At Farrell's Extreme Body Shaping, our kickboxing challenge combines heart-pumping cardio, strength training, and proven nutrition coaching to deliver real results. Lose fat, gain strength, and feel more confident than ever. Spots are limited. Don't wait. Join the next Farrell's 10-week challenge starting October 11th and take the first swing towards a healthier, stronger you. Farrell's Extreme Body Shaping, results, not excuses. Join today, fxblincoln.com. That's fxblincoln.com.
It's the best time of the year to order a new John Deere self-propelled windrower from Landmark Implement during the early order program. Hay harvest is a race against time. Order a new John Deere self-propelled windrower to harvest your hay quickly and efficiently while promoting quick dry down for quality hay. Now is the time to lock in the best price of the year. Contact your local Landmark location for full details on a new self-propelled windrower and experience the Landmark difference.
Attention all Wings fans. Buffalo Wings and Rings has daily specials that will make you want to stop in on all days of the week. Kids eat free on Mondays, and on Tuesdays, enjoy 40% off boneless or traditional wings at a price that makes the whole family happy. And come back on Wednesdays for $1.39 chicken tenders all day long. Get to Wings and Rings today, 68th and O, or in Williamsburg Village. Select Plumbing and Utility has been serving Lincoln and the surrounding area for 14 years, and they're not slowing down. Select Plumbing and Utility handles all your plumbing needs, from faucets and water heaters to full renovations, and they can even help with your heating and cooling needs. They're also Lincoln's underground experts, repairing and replacing broken underground water and sewer lines since day one. Contact Select Plumbing and Utility today at 402-560-6197, assuring excellence in every situation, opportunity, and challenge. That's 402-560-6197.
Shuizo Construction is now hiring for skilled craftsmen, steel erectors, concrete workers, and general laborers. Shuizo Construction offers great benefits like premium wages, health and dental insurance, paid holidays and vacation, 401k with company match, life insurance, and disability insurance. They pride themselves on a legacy of 40 years built on integrity and trust. Joining their team means becoming part of a family that values hard work, dedication, and mutual respect. Apply today at Shuizo.com. That's SCHWISOW.com.
93.7 The Ticket, Fox, KFXL weather. Brought to you by Bryant Air Conditioning, Heating, Electrical, and Plumbing.
Your Lincoln forecast for today, we'll see lots of sunshine. It'll be breezy and hot. Afternoon high around 90. Tonight, mainly clear skies, a continued breeze, the low around 71. And tomorrow, we'll see mainly sunny skies. It'll be windy and warm, with an afternoon high near 89. I'm meteorologist Kyle Fletcher for 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Wall-to-Wall Wine and Spirits is your place in North Lincoln to go for all your needs in wine, spirits, and beer. They also have a large variety of cigars in their walk-in humidor, and they have a top-notch walk-in temperature-controlled high-end wine room. Plus, you can enjoy free samples from their tasting bar. There's only one place to go for all your needs for spirits and cigars. That's Wall-to-Wall Wine and Spirits on North 27th Street in Lincoln.
At Parkview Animal Hospital in Lincoln, it's not just their professional care that sets them apart, but their warm staff and state-of-the-art facilities. Whether it's for a routine checkup or a comprehensive medical procedure, at Parkview, your pet isn't just another number, but a valued member of their caring family. Visit them at PAHLincoln.com today and in person just south of 14th and Pine Lake Road. Parkview Animal Hospital, your pet, their passion, for happier, healthier, furry friends.
Back to old school with Foreman and Orman on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
We've got second segment, 5 o'clock hour. Jay Foreman, Austin Orman. We have Dan Whitney here. Appreciate him stepping in and dropping some knowledge, obviously some comedy as well. We are live again, once again, out here at Cornhusker Bank, 83rd and O Street, Customer Appreciation Day. Hors d'oeuvres, barbecue, and drinks, and obviously plenty of laughs.
This is the first time I've ever been on a show like this where they said I've been dropping knowledge.
You have. You got a plethora of knowledge, man. When you got success, you know you don't have to play football to know football. I'm not one of those guys just because you haven't played that you don't know what you're talking about.
Normally, I like to show up just to encourage other people like me that never finished high school, but they can do something in their life, generally.
So, Dan, speaking of the game tomorrow, we talked obviously during the break what about your score prediction. What's your score prediction tomorrow, Huskers against the Spartans?
Well, I got us before I saw it was going to be 40-mile-an-hour winds. I had us at 45-24.
Right.
But since it's real windy, we're going to have to dink and dive and do all that kind of stuff. So I got us at 45-17. I got it hurting them more than it turned out. It's probably going to be way off.
Yeah.
Let me make it 45-31.
That's good. That's nice. You give them a complimentary touchdown or two at the end, right?
Give them a
after
win.
we pull the starters.
Give them a win touchdown. Yeah.
Yeah, I like that prediction. I think that Nebraska, in my opinion, I think it's going to be anywhere. I think it's going to be about 38-20.
Okay.
And I think we'll be in control. Of course, Michigan State will come to compete, but I think, look, a week off was probably the best thing that could have happened to Nebraska after a loss, and I think that they went back to the drawing boards, and they'll come out firing.
They sound like they've made the proper adjustments. I tell you what, is this a running quarterback we're facing?
Indeed.
Oh boy,
Potentially, he can run. He's not like Underwood.
Oh boy. Hopefully they've got a spy on this guy or something, because I mean that's killing us.
Yeah.
Running quarterbacks are killing us. How did you guys deal with it back in the day? I mean, they no running quarterback did nothing on us.
They give you problems. I mean, we generally did pretty good. Well, we had some pretty good players.
Missouri 97 was
Corby
the one?
Jones. Now, you remember Corby Jones. Listen,
Jones.
Corby Jones, off of a loss. Everybody talks about Matt Davidson off the catch, how much he's benefited. Corby Jones has made more money off of that Nebraska game than Matt Davidson could think of. He was a problem. The next year we played him, and we went out to the coin toss, and it was me and Mike Rucker and Joel Makovic. We went to listen, you might not finish this game. The other guy might get a 200 yards. You're not going to do anything. So a running quarterback or the ability to run is always affected, defense. That's the hardest thing to defense.
Yeah.
Especially if you play man-to-man or even zone. They're quicker and they're hard to deal with. But
and Corby did give us a hard time.
yeah, he did. He played the game of his life down there. Now, granted, they watered the grass and had sand out there, but he definitely he made some hay.
They pulled the tricks.
Yeah.
What's he do now, Corby?
I ran into him in Kansas City. I think he does some real estate or something. He walked into Fleming Steakhouse, and it was like the president walked in. Corby Jones. He was running the show, so I'm assuming that he made a lot of money off of that.
So let me ask you this. When you're in your huddle, okay, what's the craziest thing that's happening? I mean, because I'm sure in the huddle, sometimes it's about something other than football.
Oh, yeah. Well, I can't say what was said on air. But
how about a huddle without the Peter brothers?
right. You knew exactly where I was going. The funniest story. Here's the funniest story. We were playing the St. Louis Rams when they're the best show on turf. We're playing them in the third preseason game, which is that's when you play preseason game.
Right.
And Rayon Hill, who's a good friend of mine, he's actually Jamie Foxx's stunt double now, right? And Rayon, he would talk a little bit, a lot. And he was talking to Isaac Bruce, right? And so Isaac Bruce is a Hall of Fame wide receiver.
Yeah.
So it's during a referee timeout, TV timeout. He comes over to our huddle. I'm calling the defense. He's like, hey. He said, your boy right there? He's on the bubble. I'm about to make him pop tonight. Someone's going to get him cut. So everybody there, we were like, oh, Ray, you can't let him talk to you like that. And the funniest thing about it, we got so mad after because we all had Ray's back. We chased Isaac Brook everywhere. He's a Hall of Famer. He knew he was only playing 2 or 3 more plays. He was on the sideline laughing at us for the next 2.5 quarters, man. It was the funniest thing. He came in our huddle, tapped me on the shoulder to see your boy right there. He's on the bubble. It's about to pop tonight. And it was that's probably the best story ever that I could tell on air, not the Peter brothers.
That's hilarious. Jim McMahon, when he plays in my golf tournament here, he has these Ditka stories.
Oh, I'm sure.
That are so daggone funny. He said one time they were trying to get Walter Payton a running record, and he was only like 65 yards shy, and they just started the fourth quarter, but they're losing by like 27 points. He said, there's no way we're winning this game, so let's get Walter the record.
Right.
And Ditka calls a pass play. And, of course, he goes, and the Dolphins, they're like in a prevent defense.
Right.
So I call a running play. I change it in the huddle. We look over, and you see Ditka throw his clipboard, drop it up, calls a timeout, comes over. He Jim McMahon goes, he read me up and down. But I knew that was his last timeout.
Right.
So we went out.
That's the best part.
And he called another. He called another pass play. I said, all right, boys, I'm going to catch heat for this, but we're getting Walter the record. And he said every play he was going insane on the sideline. Then he said when he realized, oh, Walter Payton's about to get a record, then he was like,
okay with it.
Yeah, okay with it. Like he had a part of the whole thing.
Yeah, yeah. He got up there and said he probably took credit for it, man. That was back when you could really get after the players, man. I mean, I was a ball boy for the Vikings as a 13 and 14. And, you know, my dad was pretty tough on us. But going in that, Jerry Burns probably had you remember Jerry Burns?
Yes.
Jerry Burns got after Floyd Peters, the defensive coordinator, who then got mad at Keith Millard, who broke back then it was like Gator Light or whatever. Broke Gator Light. So I walk in there as a ball boy with like the balls from the game, right? I'll never forget this. I had a white Viking shirt on in purple shorts, skinny legs, knock-kneed. I'm coming in there, think I'm doing my job. Keith Millard takes his helmet and smashes the 4 Gatorades thing. Guess who had it all over his face? Me. And then the best part is Jerry Burns just walked right past me. I'm like, it's your fault. You know, and then and Lane Kiffin was there. Lane Kiffin obviously wasn't carrying anything, sitting there laughing at me. Still had to clear up the locker room, man. And back in those old school days, it's funny.
Jerry Burns has a clip on the internet where he is going off with about 9,000 F-bombs on something. Oh, man, I love all those old, like when you get to play these golf tournaments and stuff and just hang out guys like you hear some of the coolest stories. I think one of my all-time favorites was Phil Villapiano. They asked him his favorite place to play, and he didn't really say his favorite, but he goes, well, my favorite place to play, well, there's a lot of, one time in Kansas City, I went after Lenny Dawson, and Lenny Dawson ran out of bounds, and I threw an elbow, and he goes down. I didn't even hit him. I mean, he falls down like I didn't touch him. I fell down, and next thing I know, I got 9 Kansas City Chiefs on me, punching me, trying to poke my eyes in the helmet. I loved Kansas City. I mean, those guys were a whole different breed back then.
Yeah, that's back. My dad obviously played for the Vikings, and so they were playing the Raiders. And he said, so when they went out to the Super Bowl, it was out in California, and they go to like a Super Bowl function where both teams, go to the game. So Bud Grant wanted the team, he wears suits, you got to wear a sport coat and all that buttoned up. So they get off the bus, right, out there. He said the Raiders were waiting for him in like leather jackets, Harleys and everything with baseball bats. My dad was like, we looked like the church boys and the Raiders looked like a bunch of gangsters. They said my grandma was appalled.
Man, them old Raider teams. So good. That was one of the biggest thrills I ever got doing stand-up. It was before I was ever a golfer. I was working this golf tournament thing they had. I was the entertainment. I didn't know I was the entertainment for a golf tournament.
Right.
I just knew it was a gig. It was in Northern California overlooking this beautiful lake. And they asked me if I wanted to go to the pairings party. I didn't even know what a pairings party was. I said, no, I want to go down and look at the view and kind of hang out. Well, it turns out they were celebrating the 1976 World Champion Raiders, and everybody was there but stable because they had something to do. And I'm like, that was, it's my childhood team.
Right.
And so I had somebody run up there and buy a Raider helmet in the gift shop that I saw. And a lot of them were in my meet and greet. And Marv Hubbard and Mark Van Egan and Ray Guy. Ray Guy hung backstage with us because he didn't want to go out front, sit down. And he hit it off with my opening act. He's from West Virginia. Ray Guy was from West Virginia.
Right.
And so my opening act was from West Virginia. My manager was from West Virginia. So he's having a West Virginia heck of a time over there. But, man, I went on stage and killed it. But I'm watching in about the 4th row. I'm watching Fred Blitnikoff and Cliff Branch laughing there, doubled over.
Yeah.
I saw Fred Blitnikoff double over at one of my jokes. He came up wiping his eyes. I'm like, oh, this is the greatest moment of my life right here. And Ray Guy was that we were talking about why he wasn't in the Hall of Fame. And, of course, right away he went off on the writers and sports writers. And his main point was, it's always how far you hit it. It's always how far you kick it. Well, you know what? It's where you put the damn ball, and I put it where I wanted to every time.
Yeah,
and so he was complaining that it was just a fun hang. Those guys with all those stories. He's in Hall of Fame now.
Yeah,
right?
he is. Yeah, he is. He has an award after him, and obviously he's opened the doors for a lot of great punters.
All because he attended your show.
Yeah.
You got Ray Guy into the Hall of Fame.
I made a couple.
Well done.
Made a call, right?
Made a couple calls, got him in there.
Then I want to ask you, look, where is your favorite place to perform?
Anywhere my fans are.
Right.
I love all the places I go. I love what I do. I don't do it as much. I only do about 24 shows a year now. I've laid way back, but once you're a comedian, man, you just love it. It's just fun to do. It's fun to get on stage. It's fun to develop a joke and get up and tell it and then watch people laugh. It's fun. So I still like it. I don't like to travel, but I like the performing and being able to go to cool golf courses. And that's kind of way to see it now. Well, I'm going to golf, but I'm getting paid to golf. All it's going to cost me is an hour of joke telling.
Right.
But man, I love it. But they're all good. There's not really one place. Anywhere I got fans that like what I do, it's always a good time. I tend to, what surprised me a lot was it's surprising where it really expounds on itself. Like, you would never think Larry the Cable Guy where he would sell tickets. But some of my biggest markets are in Pennsylvania, upstate New York, New Hampshire, Connecticut. I mean, I kill it up there.
The Amish love you.
The Amish are unbelievable to me. They party like it's $17.99 every time I go somewhere. Absolutely. No, so it's certain parts of the country, of course, are better than other parts of the country. I'm just very fortunate that I got a lot of good parts. There's a lot of parts of the country that I do really well at. But those always were surprising to me that's where I was kicking. Of course, in the South, I was kicking, but in the Midwest, here in Iowa and Wisconsin, Wisconsin's big. But man, Pennsylvania, I did the Hershey Arena in Hershey, Pennsylvania. I mean, that's like, it's an arena.
Right.
Yeah.
But I remember in like 2007 and 8, I played the Hershey Arena 3 times in a year and a half. 3 times. That'd be like me coming. That'd be like an act coming to the Pinnacle Bank Arena 3 times in a year and a half and packing it out. It's unheard of. But man, those were the days. That was a lot of fun. But it's just, man, I love that whole area up there. Yeah, a lot of Amish. You're right. There are a ton of Amish.
Do you get the? I mean, I remember. People always ask me, did I get nervous? Because I liked it. I like to get it going. Do you still get the same juices flowing?
Absolutely. You get nervous for every show, and it's not a nervous. I don't want to go on stage. It's an anxiety to get up, an anxiety to get started, get going. The only thing I get nervous about now is remembering everything because I'm older. So I got a little cheat card in case I forget something because your memory's not like it was. But no, that's what how you can tell winning football teams too. When you correlated that, I knew I was going to do good. I knew I was going to have a great show. I could not wait to get up there and show them what I could do. And that's what Nebraska football is working towards. We're getting there, but it's like when I watched you guys, as soon as you walked on the field, we won. When you get to the point where as soon as you walk on the field and you just can kind of see what the look of the face is of the other team, you won by looking at it. And that's what we got. That's what we're getting to. We may be where we're not there yet. We're going to get there. But we're way better than we have been in the past. That is a fact. But, just unlimited confidence in what you do. And that's like I can't karaoke. If I went up right now, people will get in front of it. And it's not about getting in front of people. I'm still scared to get in front of people, but not doing comedy. Because I'm confident I can do that. Shoot, I'll get up in front of 80,000 people. I don't care. Tell them jokes. But you told me to get up there and, sing a song karaoke in front of them. Oh my gosh, crap my pants.
That's understandable.
Just stop comparing yourself to Alfonso Ribeiro.
Yeah,
I'm no Alfonso. I'm no Alfonso Ribeiro. I am a black belt in karaoke.
We appreciate that. Old school Jay Foreman, Austin Norman, Dan Whitney. We're going to take a quick break, come back, put a bow on this from the old school out here, 83rd Noe Street, Cornhusker Bank. We'll be right back.
Watch Old School live on Facebook, YouTube, or Twitch. Old School with Foreman and Norman on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Jack Russell of Farm Bureau Financial Services is here to help you protect things that are most important to you. Whether it's your home, your family, or your future, Jack Russell has the proven experience to get the job done while developing authentic relationships with you. Give Jack a call today at 402-421-9100. Again, that's 402-421-9100. Or visit one of his 2 locations in Lincoln or Seward and learn how you can excel in the complicated world of insurance. Jack Russell of Farm Bureau Financial Services, a trusted and well-respected representative since 1999.
93.7 The Ticket, Fox, KFXL weather. Brought to you by Bryant Air Conditioning, Heating, Electrical, and Plumbing.
Your Lincoln forecast for today. We'll see lots of sunshine. It'll be breezy and hot. Afternoon high around 90. Tonight, mainly clear skies. A continued breeze. The low around 71. And tomorrow, we'll see mainly sunny skies. It'll be windy and warm. The afternoon high near 89. I'm meteorologist Kyle Hunter for 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Here at Aspen Builders, our company is building more homes today than I thought we would ever build.
Bob Benish is the founder and president of Aspen Builders, online at aspenbuildersinc.com.
You know, I am just shocked at how strong our market is here in Lincoln and at Aspen Builders. We're probably helping people right now more than ever get into a new home. We've been able to find pieces of ground we can develop affordably and keep our lot prices down a little bit. I think with our volume discounts and our office staff, 35 years of experience, we figure out a plan that's going to work great for you. We make it perfect. We make it fit your price range. All of this is part of the reason we're so busy.
Make your dream home a reality and call Aspen Builders at 423-6811. Online at aspenbuildersinc.com. Your home is waiting at Aspen Builders.
Load up on meat and more this spring at The Mercado by Certified Piedmontese with great selections of T-bones, tomahawks, ribeyes, filet mignon, brisket, sirloin, and so much more. The Mercado has locations at 84th and Havelock, 30th and Yankee Hill, and now 85th and Old Cheney in Lincoln, where you can have $2 draft beer every Thursday night from 4 to 8 p.m. and half-price espresso drinks on Fridays from 8 a.m. to 2 p.m. Get to The Mercado today for the best meat in town. Tired of asking what's for dinner? Nourished for Life has got you covered. At Nourished, they're a local meal prep company that delivers fresh, chef-crafted, healthy meals straight to your door. Made from wholesome ingredients and ready when you are. No shopping, no chopping. Just heat, eat, and enjoy every night of the week. Fuel your busy days with balanced meals that are designed to keep you satisfied and energized. Visit nourishedforlife.co to purchase meals and taste the convenience of home-cooked comfort without the hassle.
This is Bill Mitchner, Executive Director of Lincoln Lighthouse. Did you know Lighthouse provides multiple programs for students such as one-on-one tutoring and mentoring, as well as pro-social skill exercises, while providing them a nourishing meal and a safe space during all months of the year, even during school breaks? Learn more or contribute to Lighthouse at lincolnlighthouse.org today.
I can't believe I just scratched that card. Find my insurance card.
Dude, what do you have in this glove box? Ew, are these socks dirty?
Oh, forget about the socks. I need my insurance card.
Just pull it up on the State Farm mobile app.
But I can do that? Oh, hey, I can do that.
Yep, it's called service.
I can file a claim on here too?
Yeah, it's called service.
Whoa, I can call my agent too?
It's called service.
Call your local State Farm agent, Vinny Krikak, today at 402-474-1173.
When it comes to concrete, Stevens & Smith Construction doesn't stall. They go for the takedown. As Nebraska's full-service concrete contractor, they stay in bounds, hold inside position, and never forfeit quality. Whether it's foundations, flatwork, or concrete coatings, they elevate performance and pin down results that win every time. Stevens & Smith Construction is a proud sponsor of Takedown Tuesdays on 93.7 The Ticket. Because when it's time to wrestle with concrete, Stevens & Smith Construction slams expectations.
Attention all Wings fans, Buffalo Wings and Rings has daily specials that will make you want to stop in on all days of the week. Kids eat free on Mondays, and on Tuesdays enjoy 40% off boneless or traditional wings at a price that makes the whole family happy. And come back on Wednesdays for $1.39 chicken tenders all day long. Get to Wings and Rings today, 68th and O or in Williamsburg Village.
This is Rick Heyman with Sartor Heyman Jewelers. Sartor Heyman is celebrating 120 years, and you could win big Follow us on Facebook and Instagram for your chance to win a $120 gift certificate every week. That's right, we're giving away $120 every week as a thank you for being part of our story. Don't miss your chance to treat yourself. Follow Sartor Hamann Jewelers today. Celebrating 120 years. Sartor Hamann, when only the best will do.
Hi, Sean Callahan here for Koppel Chevrolet GMC. This month kicks off Koppel's 50th anniversary sale. We're celebrating 50 years by offering an additional $500 discount to the next 100 customers that buy a new vehicle. This is in addition to the huge savings already in place. You can take an extra $500 off our discounted price, or we can cut you a check on the spot. Celebrate with savings and see why customers have trusted Koppel since 1975. It's our way of saying thank you for all these years.
Hey, what's up, everyone? This is Mike Smith, founder of The Bay. Join me every Tuesday from 5 to 6 p.m. for your weekly Disrupt, where me and local misfits will interrupt your drive time with this week's most interesting stories in sports, entrepreneurship, and culture. So tune in to your weekly Disrupt every Tuesday afternoon on 93.7 The Ticket, where disruption is just a phone call away.
Back to old school with Foreman and Orman on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
We're back. Quick segment. James Foreman, Dan Whitney out here in Austin, Norman. Excuse me.
They
out
run my
here.
chopped liver.
I know. Old school live out here at the Cornhusker Bank, 83rd and O Street. We got 30 more minutes for customer appreciation tailgate party.
I got 3 more minutes.
You got 3 more minutes? Hey.
I'm hosting.
Yeah.
I'm hosting my boy Tim Brando tonight.
I know.
Hello.
Have a cigar and a couple of pregame beverages.
Tim Brando can get down on the sideline.
He seasons his meat, is what you said.
He's one of
before.
my favorites, man. I met him last year. Great to talk to. And sometimes you know this. Sometimes you meet people and it's like, man, you didn't have to be a level 10 or being an a-hole. He is a great human being.
He's a solid cat. I met him a long time ago. He plays in my golf tournament.
Right.
So anytime they're in town, come over and have pizza, smoke a cigar, and watch some football. So that's always a good time. I enjoy it.
He was a delight. I got to meet him. Obviously I've watched and they called a few games I was in, but
isn't it nice when you meet somebody and they are what you think they were supposed to be?
He was even better. He was even better, and he has I think he was with the young quarterback from Michigan that was kind of just getting into business last year, and he was great to talk to. So
it's like when I met AD, nothing like I thought. Complete jerk. And one of the reasons he's made morning radio what it is today unlistenable. I'm only kidding. AD is the man. Same thing when I met AD. Just heart of gold, man.
Yeah.
Just so solid folks, man. Good people out there.
So you and Tim going to have a pretty late night tonight? He's going to give you some inside tips on the game?
You know what? I don't know, but he always feels like this is like the third time he's been here and we've lost. But he always is very nice.
Yeah.
He'll fall out and he'll leave me a text. Hey, thanks for Friday night. So sorry about your team, man. They'll get it rolling. He and Tim likes Nebraska.
Yeah. That's what he told me.
Timmy loves Nebraska. He's always pulling for the Huskers.
Yeah.
And so he's nobody wants Nebraska to get back in the limelight like my buddy Mr. Brando.
Yeah, I'm sure it makes his job a lot easier, and he loves coming to Lincoln. He was, we talked about how much has grown since he first started coming to Nebraska. And he said one thing to me last year was always pretty cool. He was like, when schools like Nebraska and Miami, when they're good, college football is whole.
That's true. I mean, we're a blue blood school. When people go, well, yeah, but they haven't been good. Well, you know what? We're still the 8th winningest college football team in the history of college football. So don't give me that garbage. We're on our way back. Matt Rule's got us rolling. I'm excited about Saturday, and I'm excited about the future. And that is a fact. We will have another couple of national championships headed to Lincoln, Nebraska. That is a fact.
I like that. That's a good way to end the show. We got the prediction there. You got 2 national championships. If you don't, come find Dan. If not,
hey, we're on the right trajectory. Let's put it that way.
Appreciate you stopping by, man. It's always good to see you. Always good to get some laughs and also talk about our terrible golf games. But
exactly.
Jay Foreman, Austin Norman, Dan Whitney, live out here, old school, Cornhusker Bank, 83rd and O Street. 30 more minutes. We'll holler at you next week.